Hello, every pony! Rars here. So, Inanimate Insanity 15 dropped like maybe 3 weeks ago. How are we holding up? How are we feeling, everyone? Recently though, I have been getting back into object shows. Not really though, it's only BFDI and One and Inanimate Insanity. Other things are currently taking up my brain at the moment. So when I saw that Inanimate Insanity 15 was to be announced and to come out on August 10th, 2024, I had to save that date, and I did. I think that this new episode really made me just slowly start to get back into Inanimate Insanity, as now I am forcing my good friend to watch it with me. This is his first object show. And while rewatching the show, I had an idea. Why not put myself through hell and watch all of Inanimate Insanity seasons? Well, only 1 and 2 because this video turned out to be really fucking long. 3 can maybe be in a part 2, I don't know, we'll see. But I thought it would be something that I would enjoy, and I did, but it took so fucking long. What would the video be about exactly? Who cares? I just wanted to make a video about Inanimate Insanity and I wanted to have a reason to rewatch it. So I did! I think that this is just gonna be like a recap video before the part 1 of the finale comes out this Saturday, which, holy shit, I was working on the video and then I think 2 days ago, as of recording this, they announced that part 1 of the finale is coming out this Saturday, and I was like, holy shit, I am not even fucking close to being done yet, so I had to like speed run this. So if some of me describing the episodes seem rushed towards the end, that is why, because I wanted this to come out before, or hopefully, you know, like a day before. I haven't seen much about season 3. I only watched up to like episode 4 when the episodes were coming out because I was still salty that they didn't release season 2, so I stopped watching. So if I do, maybe, inevitably, I don't know, do a part 2 and watch all of season 3, I will be going into that completely blind, which I think could be fun, but again, this was really fucking long to do, so I don't know, we'll see. If you don't know what Inanimate Insanity is, it's an object show that released September 14th, 2011, and if you don't know what an object show is, oh, you're in for a fucking ride. An object show is just like what it sounds like. It's a show about objects you use in everyday life with like sentience. This first became popular when one of the first object shows popped up on YouTube called Battle for Dream Island, which came out January 1st, 2010. So, like many others, Battle for Dream Island was my first object show because it's like one of the pioneers that helped like kickstart every single, like there are so many fucking object shows out there. If you like search one up right now, there's probably one that just came out the day you were searching it up. Because of both shows coming out around the same time, the creators of both shows, BFDI, or Battle for Dream Island, Birdler for whatever, and Inanimate Insanity are friends, which I think is really cool. So enough freaking dilly-dallying, let's get into this stupid, fun, little, awesome object show. So episode 1 starts off with a narration of a warning saying not to try any of this at home. And holy shit, is that Total Drama Island's very own Chris McLean?
Greetings and salutations!
To this day, I still have no idea how this exactly happened, but according to a Reddit thread that I found, Adam, the guy who made Inanimate Insanity's dad, knew the voice actor and just asked if he could be in it. It's really funny to me though because he's only in this episode, which maybe is a good thing. After Chris McLean tells us to stay tuned, the actual episode starts with the host Mephone, and he explains that this is a show where objects compete for $1 million, holy moly. While competing in challenges, it's very reminiscent of like Total Drama Island or Survivor, which you're going to see a huge pattern of if you do actually watch more object shows. They're very heavily based on Total Drama Island. I think like BFDI, the origins of it was Total Fiery Island, which, you know, it's Total Drama Island. Mifun says that there will be eliminations after each contest where the losing team has to vote another team member out. after a fire ass intro plays. Oh my god, this is so fucking iconic. I've had my good friend, that when we started to watch the show at the beginning of the video, he sends me like TikToks with like this audio, and he's like, I can't escape it because it's so like iconic. It's so good. So yeah, after that intro, the first challenge starts, and it's the first challenge of Total Drama Island. Okay. The contestants have to jump off of a 60-foot cliff and make it into the water. The first two to jump off and make it into the water win and become the team captains. Also, if you don't land into the water, you land straight into elephant shit and you lose. Pickle is the first one out because he's a lame jumper, and Taco kicks Lightbulb off of the cliff because she's whimsical like that. Why did I write that? But Lightbulb ends up being the first person to land in the water, so she gets to be one of the team captains. One by one, everyone misses and falls into the ship. They do a gag where Marshmallow jumps and she's going to make it, but Looney Tune-ass logic happens and she falls into the shit. This is a very common theme in season 1, where Marshmallow is like the punching bag of the show. Free Marshmallow, she did nothing wrong. Balloon ends up being the second one to jump into the water, and the 2 team captains are chosen. Salt makes a reference to the first episode of BFDI, and her and Pepper reunite after not seeing each other for an hour and 27 minutes. OJ hates women, so he teleports in between them when they're about to hug. Balloon is demanding a prize while being an asshole about it. This surely won't shape his whole character in season 1. And Adam's dad, Mephone, recaps the last episode and lets him pick teams. So from this point on, Adam, the creator, I'll just be calling him Adam, his dad voices Mephone, which I think is really fun. He recaps the last episode and lets them pick the teams. Taco says her iconic sprinkles line that fucking cracks me up every time I hear it.
Thanks to Taco.
They then separate into their chosen teams. Lightbulb and her team, Team Epic, being made up of Lightbulb, Paintbrush, Knife, Nickel, Marshmallow, Baseball, and Paper. And Balloon's team, which is called Team Chicken Wing, being made up of Balloon, Pickle, Taco, OJ, Salt, Pepper, and Bomb. The next challenge is to take lemons from a lemon tree and fill their own baskets full of them. The team with the most amount of lemons will win the challenge. These are very like basic, easy challenges the first couple episodes of the season. Balloon kicks Taco up the tree. OJ tells her to give them the lemons, which Taco screams sour cream. This is also a very reoccurring thing with Taco. She's like that random, quirky character, and I do fuck with it. I fuck with it heavy. Bomb explains to OJ that Taco doesn't speak English and only French and some other words. Just keep that in mind that she doesn't speak English, alright? Balloon calls Taco a bitch, and then Pickle defends his friend. Knife and Paper say freak this challenge, and then they watch Desperate Housewives. What the fuck?
No, Shelly, don't cheat on Matt. He's a nice dude.
It's so sad.
Team Chicken Leg has no lemons because the tree ended up having none, which, okay, rigged. But Taco comes in clutch and vomits a bunch of lemons for their basket. Team Chicken Wing wins by 2 lemons. That's crazy. Knife starts to shit talk his team, with Paper just standing there menacingly in the background, saying how could they lose to someone like Taco, which makes it apparent who they want to be up for elimination this round. Paper and Knife are tied on who gets eliminated, and they had to do a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is whoever falls off the platform into the water below loses, and they have to be eliminated. Knife smacks Paper and starts to throw things at him to get him off the pole, and Knife fucking kills Paper, and Knife stays in the show. I love this clip so much. I think it's one of my top favorite Inanimate Insanity clips. Knife gets bored and bets that he could throw Marshmallow far, which he does. Nickel teleports back to Inanimate Insanity after being on the set of BFDI. This gag is something that isn't just for goofs. Like, this is like real. Like, Nickel is a contestant on the second season of BFDI called BFDI-A. Like I mentioned earlier, the 2 creators, 3, because 2 people are the creators of BFDI, they're twins, but they're friends, and so Adam's character, Nickel, is also on BFDI while being on Inanimate Insanity. And to this day, Nickel is still a contestant in the newer season and an older season that they are bringing back. So that's cool. I think it's really funny how different Inanimate Insanity Nickel is compared to BFDI Nickel because they're just such different characters. Anyways, the challenge for this episode is the title of the episode. So, 4 contestants on each team stand on platforms, and they each have to try to knock off the other teams. 4 contestants on each team stand on platforms, and they have to try and knock off the other team with the rocks they have. A computer picks the people who will go up on the platforms, and for Team Epic, it's nickel, baseball, knife, and paintbrush. Team Chicken Leg has OJ, Salt, Pepper, and Taco go up. What a team. Team Epic targets Taco, but being the crazy character she is, she eats all of the rocks and launches them back. You freaking go, Taco. She ends up hitting Knife off while Paintbrush stops a rock with their mind power. Hole mole. Nico gets Pepper out and Salt jumps after Pepper, which leaves OJ and Taco on Team Chicken Leg. OJ gets out Nickel and Paintbrush, and Baseball kills OJ. Baseball launches himself at Taco and loses. What? Team Epic gets put up for elimination again. Pencil BFDI, what the fuck are you doing here? Anyways, the elimination continues with Baseball and Knife being the 2 with the most votes. And Baseball gets voted out and the episode ends. Nickel references his time on BFDI, and then Knife kills Marshmallow. What the hell, to make s'mores? Why is he such a freak in the first season? Balloon wants to form an alliance with Bomb and OJ to try and make it farther into the game, totally by not manipulating them. What are you talking about? There's this weird part when Miphone is explaining the challenge, and it cuts to Knife saying he likes to shoot. But the audio is played over Miphone talking, so it just sounds really funny to me.
Yes, well, one member of each.
Anyways, the 4th challenge is that they have to slingshot their teammates to make it to the other side of the gorge, which is only part 1 of this challenge. There's a part in the video where it glitches out and it shows this really distorted scene with the feature character Fan, aka one of the best characters, I don't care what you say. If you're a new Inanimate Insanity fan and watch this part thinking, what the fuck was that? Let me explain. I think around 2020 or 2021, the Animation Epic team took out 2 scenes involving Fan in them because of how kinda stereotypical / racist they were. In the scene coming up, Bomb and OJ are ordering out some Chinese food. In the original, the person on the phone answers and speaks with a very stereotypical Chinese accent. And in another part of the episode, when the screen glitches, it's a scene with Fan where he also kinda has the same accent, but not really. Either way, when I was rewatching this after 2020 to 2021, I felt crazy because I knew those scenes were in the episode and I couldn't find them. Regardless though, I think it's good that they took these out of the episodes later on because, you know, this is a show mainly towards like tween, and so having that in your show is not the best with a very influential tween audience. So anyways, it cuts to Team Epic and Knife puts Marshmallow's corpse on the slingshot and she makes it across. Okay, Cell goes first for Team Chicken Leg and falls in, and Paper, being the sheeple she is, she goes on after her. Lightbulb trips over a rock and dies, then Nickel dies. In the end, Pickle and Taco make it across for their team. A commercial break happens before we get to the second part, and oh, it's Cheesy. Hey, Cheesy. He's in the future season. He is definitely a character. The second part of the challenge is Tug of War, which Team Chicken Leg wins because of course they do. The elimination starts, and then from this point on, fan voting starts. So from this point on, this episode, fans start to vote on who they want out in the teams that get eliminated. And Fan makes another cameo. Hi Fan, I love you so much. I put him on my homework one time. He's just so freaking cool. I love this little guy. Anyways, Knife has immunity because he did something during the challenge, so... Salt and Pepper die, and then the episode starts, okay? Team Epic is up for elimination, and Miphone is a fat slob, so he ate all the cookies he was going to give them. Fucking little fat ass. Instead, he gives them Dora dolls, and they say they like big peanuts. Very cool, guys. People spelled Nickel's name wrong, and they put Nicolay, which 70 people spelled wrong, so they didn't count this. So also keep that in mind. Lightbulb gets voted out, and the next challenge is golf ball stacking. Just stack 3 golf balls on top of each other, and that's it. That's the challenge. Everyone is for themselves for this challenge because Mifone disbanded the teams just for this one challenge, which I don't know why. Blah, 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 blah. Bomb, Salt, Pickle, Balloon, OJ, Paintbrush, and Nickel stack their golf balls, which means Marshmallow, Pepper, Knife, and Taco are up for elimination. Yeah, not a lot happens in season 1, like big storyline wise. Like, you know, season 2, very story and plot driven. Season 1, more like fun, silly fun, goofy. So I'm trying to go through each episode as fast as I can in season 1 just because of how much there is to come in season 2. Like it's so long. Like I think the script for season 2 was like 40 pages. This is a nothing episode. This is a nothing episode where they give fans the opportunity to vote in a new character into the game. That's all there is to this one. Knife abuses Marshmallow again by shocking her and everyone laughs at it. Why are they such haters? Oh my god! Anyways, Marshmallow kills Knife with the thing from Walmart she gets. And an annoying orange reference starts.
Apple! Hey, Apple! What? Knife? Huh?
Knife gets eliminated, and then the final 10 are now here. Just kidding! I pranked you. That new character they had people vote for is joining. And I'm just gonna cut out this long-ass fight scene because it does not need to be described. Apple wins. This time it isn't an elimination round. It's just to compete to see who will win Apple for their team, which Team Epic really, really needs right now because they only have 3 people on their team. That's really embarrassing. To make it fair, Team Chicken Wing has 3 people compete in this challenge. This challenge is kind of like a triathlon. The contestants have to hold a baton while going through the obstacle course. The first one is to cross a lake full of elephant shit. What is it with the elephant poop? Second part is to climb a ladder and plunge into a bucket of guacamole. And the last part is to have a person grab the baton and run to the beam over a cliff. And the last part is to have a person grab the baton and run on a beam over a cliff. Bomb's stuttering puts everyone on hold as they just stand there and watch, and then the challenge goes on normally. I don't know. Bomb stuttering is like also just a thing that happens in season 1. It's very like played for, you know, it's like for laughs, for goofs and gaffs. Paintbrush hits their peatness and Paintbrush hits their peatness, and then another in-show commercial plays for a rubber ball. It's really cool. Marshmallow survives dying and wins for her team, so they get Apple as their new team member. A twist happens where Mifone says that when 70 people voted for Nickel, they meant Nickel, and he's taking the votes anyway, so Nickel gets eliminated. But they get Lipo back, so yay, everything works out, yay! Another twist happens when Mifone says Team Chicken Leg are actually up for elimination. And when asked why, he said it's because they lost. And he took back what he said earlier from it not being an elimination competition. This time, they'll be able to vote themselves who gets out. So, drama. This one is a Halloween special. Yay! Pickle commits an act of cannibalism and eats his cucumber date because he forgot the food for their date at home. He got the cucumber from Marshmallow. It was a gift, I think, from Walmart, maybe. I don't know. Then this chode appears and puts on some Roblox face. So we'll talk about him more later. He's not relevant right now. A really fucked up and evil version of the intro plays, and holy fuck, I'm so scared. And then we jump into the elimination. They all gang up on Balloon and vote him out for being a dick. Who would have seen that coming? They play a montage of Balloon being mean in case you forgot, but it's literally just a compilation of clips that he's been in. There's like, he's barely being like rude in them, it's just clips of him. That red phone guy comes back and runs over Cheesy after being denied to enter the show, which, get this man behind bars. OJ, Bomb, Pickle, and Taco form an alliance since Balloon is gone, so blah 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 blah. The challenge of this episode is to get as many candies around the island, and the team with the most candies wins, so it's kind of like the Lemon Tree episode, but with candy. Apple eats trash to prove it's candy, and nothing really happens in this episode besides Marsh getting mauled by bears. Marshmallow survived, though she comes in clutch, and she brings like 200 pieces of candy! This is why she's like the best character! Team Chicken Leg is up for elimination. OJ and Bomb get immunity for being the only ones to bring any candy back. And it leaves on a cliffhanger where the red phone guy interrupts things. I don't know. We go back from that like cliffhanger from episode, what was it, like 7? The red phone says that he's MePhone 4S, and he's the new and improved version of MePhone. He came here to replace MePhone and eliminate him, and then he shoots MePhone. Oh my god, when he shoots MePhone! Oh my god! Then cuts to 4S hosting the elimination, and Pepper gets out. The challenge this episode is to get across a thing of quicksand, and the teams get broken up again. The last 3 who don't finish are up for elimination. Marshmallow gets immunity for being the first to get over, then it's OJ, then Taco. The 3 plan to get MePhone back with a time machine that Marsh bought from Walmart, which I don't know what kind of Walmart Marsh is shopping at, but get me to one stat. They pause time and replace the real MePhone with a dummy Marsh got from Walmart. Again, this is a lot of Walmart love. Paintbrush and Apple win immunity from kicking Salt and using her to get across, and Bomb asks why she's not trying to do the competition. And then she kills him. And she wins. So what are we learning here? Lightbulb, Pickle, and Bomb are up for elimination, and MePhone comes back and kills 4S. Oh my god. I don't really have much to say about this episode. It's not really what I care about as much, so you're going to be seeing a pattern with some of the future episodes coming up. Paintbrush crushes Apple's dreams about Santa being real, and we get a holiday special! Yay! Anyways, Lightbulb gets eliminated, and the challenge is a Christmas tree contest. They have to pick out and make the best Christmas tree, and then, MePhone picks the one he likes, I don't know. Apple is tweaking the fuck out this episode because she finds out that Santa isn't real, so Marsh and Paintbrush try to fix it by dressing up as Santa. I don't know how they thought this would work. And then we see another in-show commercial with one of the best characters. I know I say that about a lot of them, but this one's really fucking awesome. This is Bo. She's selling a chair. Love her. In this episode, Salt starts an obsession with OJ, and I don't know how or why this starts. I think that they just thought that an obsessive character would be funny, so they made Salt obsessed with OJ now that Pepper's gone. Anyways, they cross a frozen lake to get to the tree, and it sucks ass. Marshmallow and Paintbrush execute their plan in making Apple feel better by dressing up like Santa. So, they put their plan into action. They go up to her and say that Santa is real, and Apple wants to sit on their lap and make a wish. Man. Team Chicken Leg crosses the lake only to find that the tree they wanted is dookie, but they still take it. Apple finds out that it wasn't really Santa, and she leaves more upset. Since they were busy preserving Apple's feelings, Team Epic didn't have time to get a tree, so Paintbrush gets one from Walmart instead. Wow, they fucking keeping the Walmart train up. Team Chicken Leg wins the challenge because their tree shows Christmas spirit, I guess. Their reward for winning is getting an eliminated contestant to join their team based on the audience votes. Also, Bo is an option to be voted, that's very important. Okay, 8 more episodes left to season 1. Let's just try and get through this fast. After calling baseball fat, they all end up at the voting area where one contestant will rejoin. Paper ends up being the one to rejoin, with Bo being in a close second. Paper kills Balloon and is revealed to have a evil and fucked up and twisted eyes, and it gets really freaky. He turns normal and says he doesn't know what came over him. Ooh, what happened? What's happening with Paper? I have no idea. Bo comes out of nowhere, and reluctantly, MePhone allows her to come with them to the next challenge. Salt isn't allowed to participate in this episode because she gets stuck to a magnet, and I don't know if they did this because they couldn't get the voice actor. I don't remember Salt talking in this episode, so maybe that's why. Bo insults Salt. Whoa. And the challenge for this episode is explained. Contestants have to maneuver around cactuses, quicksand, an electric fence, and a desert monster. Whoever crosses the finish line first wins immunity. While everyone is getting stuck, OJ and Bomb make it through to the electric fence. He throws OJ over and threatens the fence that he will blow up if he doesn't move, which works. Which begs the question, are objects in this world sentient like the contestants, or is it just like a select few? How does that work? Like earlier with Pickle and that cucumber, do objects need to eat? If they do, what do they eat? Is every object sentient, or are just some not as involved as others? How did this happen? How? Anyways, Bo ends up winning the challenge while LJ and Bomb were too distracted arguing with each other. MePhone is told by Adam, his boss, I don't know if we mentioned Adam earlier, but Adam is Miphone's boss, to let her join the show because of how dumb and funny she is. He lets her win, but also lets an already existing contestant win the challenge. Bomb kills OJ and crosses the finish line, and everyone else is up for elimination. Bomb and Bo get the prize of visiting around the world, and they invite everyone but Balloon. Aww. This time, 2 people will be eliminated. Marsh and Paper play catch together when Marshmallow accidentally hits Paper in the face, making him get crazy. They made a crazy-ass slideshow of their trip around the world, which I love so much and hold very dear to me. The double elimination happens, and the 2 who are voted out are Salt and Paintbrush. But it's okay, because Salt and Pepper reunite, it's fine. As of this episode, the teams have officially dissolved, so, the alliance with OJ, Bomb, Pickle, and Taco, they fall apart because of OJ not wanting to pair with Bomb because of the last episode when he killed him. Paper and OJ then form an alliance together instead. Marshmallow and Bo become friends. I don't know why I thought this was relevant to put into the script. Wait, I do know why it's relevant. Keep this in your mind. In this challenge, they have to swim to the bottom of the ocean and retrieve a coin. It's then revealed that Taco has arms the whole time and is talking in perfect English. What the hell? She then ruins everything by saying sour cream, so whatever. Paper gets a boat from Walmart. Fuck. For him and OJ to sail and get the coin. Apple tears Marshmallow's Walmart card up. What the fuck? And Bo gets eaten by a shark? Oh my god. OJ and Paper bond over both of them having trust issues. When OJ mentions Idiotic Island, Paper starts to tweak the fuck out and throws OJ overboard. Apple gets eaten by the shark as well. Taco shoots a lemon in Pickle's eye, and he can't see for, like, the rest of the episode, I think, or, like, the rest of the couple next episodes, if that makes sense. Marshmallow is about to win the contest, but then Paper gets a fishing reel and hooks her? Buddy, that's so fucking mean. What's with the Marshmallow hate? Anyways, Paper wins the challenge by stealing the coin from her. There's usually a recap at the start of every episode, but I haven't been including that. So this is just for context. Miphone grabs the recap and throws it over the cliff and kills it because it's in honor of the 1-year anniversary, and there's no recap in the first episode because it was the first episode. They use clips from the first episode from when Chris voiced Miphone, and it's really funny because they cut them together to form sentences. It sounds so weird. Miphone goes back to normal, and Bomb gets eliminated. Thank God! Marshmallow calls everyone idiots, and then they get on her ass about it. They hated her because she spoke the truth, that's all I'm saying. The challenge this episode, it's the same as episode 1, but they have to do, like, fancy flips and shit. Since Paper won the last challenge, he gets a plastic seal that'll help him not get wet in the water, so, you know, he can, like, actually do the challenge. Everyone dives and Pickle wins the challenge. Just like the first episode, they get to vote each other out for the next episode. Paper and OJ have a conversation about how he's been going crazy recently, and OJ tries to figure out what's been happening with him.
You went to Idiotic Island?
OJ mentions that when he says Idiotic Island, that's when Paper goes crazy. So they conclude that evil Paper is triggered by the word Idiotic Island, or just the word idiotic. I don't know. I forgot. The votes end up in a tie between Apple and Marshmallow because Paper is a dumbass and says Idiotic Island while voting. If he knows that Idiotic Island is his, like, trigger word to, like, have evil Paper come out, why would he say it while voting? It's so stupid. Anyways, he votes for OJ. Whatever. Apple wins the tiebreaker, and then the next challenge is a tournament bracket. I won't, like, go into each of the fights because it's literally just them, like, for 5 seconds hitting each other or, like, throwing shit at each other. So Bo wins against Apple, evil Paper wins against Pickle, Taco wins against OJ, Bo wins against Paper. Apple then starts to say Idiotic Island over and over again because she thinks it's funny when Paper turns in and out of evil Paper. She's so fucking rude. OJ worries for his boyfriend. I mean, his best friend. And we get to see inside of Paper's mind. He has a talk with evil Paper in his head, and evil Paper tries to kill Paper, and then Paper kills evil Paper with a piano. That is a lot of times I've said Paper, and this reminds me of season 4 Total Drama with Mal. Or maybe it was season 5. Whenever Mal came out, I don't know. While Paper was out, Taco beat Bo, so everyone else is out for elimination. It cuts to Idiotic Island, and they notice that someone else isn't there yet. They see Bomb hurtling towards them, and then when he hits them, they all fucking explode, and that's how this episode ends. Since Bomb blew them up last episode, the rails around like Idiotic Island, they broke, and so they plan to escape. Then my favorite clip from season 1 happens with a contest winner.
The prizes for the elimination are boomerang.
Whoa, do I get one?
Wait, who the heck are you?
I'm the contest winner. You know, you promised me one episode live, so here I am.
Isn't Bo annoying enough?
But you promised!
Fine, I'll give you one if you just go away.
Apple gets eliminated and lands on the island with everyone else gone. Oh, she's so lonesome. The rest of the contestants are back on a tree boat trying to make it back to the main grounds when they see Salt swimming to the main grounds, which is a problem because if Miphone sees her, they will all be sent back to the island. The next challenge is Simon Says, but not. It's Miphone Says. One of them is Miphone Says, spit lemons, and when Taco tries, she can't. It's so sad. It cuts back to the rest of the eliminated contestants trying to get Salt to come back with them so their cover isn't blown. They fail, and Miphone discovers that all the eliminated contestants have escaped. Miphone then makes it to the challenge. Miphone then makes it into a challenge, using Miphone Says to do it, and whoever brings the most contestants back wins. Taco's still depressed, and Pickle wants to help her, not be depressed, so they don't really participate in the challenge. Knife is stupid, Paper catches him, and OJ does the same with Bomb. I don't really care. Then Baseball trips and crushes Bo? Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Unintentionally, Pickle catches the rest of the contestants in a hole he was digging to try and look for lemons. Buddy, we just had an episode of you picking lemons for a tree. Why would they be in the ground? I don't understand. Miphone gives him and Taco immunity and sends the eliminated contestants to a clone of Idiotic Island. The ones up for elimination are Paper, Bo, and OJ, which are all very dear to me, and I am so sad. OJ starts to get tired of Paper's bitching and moaning and whining, because OJ's out of orange juice, and he's not himself without his juice. Paper pulls out some orange juice, like in a juice box. Like, he had that the whole time, while OJ was dying over here, and so OJ gets mad at him and walks away. While he walks away, he gets killed by 4S. What is he doing here? 4S demands to host, and Miphone lets him co-host reluctantly. Dream duo. He then says under his breath, when Miphone is away, that his news will have to wait. Ooh, I wonder what he's gonna tell him. One Lollipop Chainsaw reference later, Bo gets eliminated, and Miphone locks her in a box. My Mimpy. Paper offers to help Pickle and Taco find out why she can't spit lemons anymore, to excuse how evil he was acting to them. OJ's abandonment issues are really showing here because he gets mad when he sees Paper going to help them, and assumes that Paper's leaving him. Dude, go to therapy. He brings up the fact that Paper didn't help when OJ was telling him that he needed juice, and Paper agrees and apologizes. Huzzah! No miscommunication here! Paper says he plans to help OJ during the rest of Inanimate Insanity, no matter what. Aw, so cute. The challenge for this episode is something called Tile Terror, which wins over 4S's suggestion of doing a death trap. In Miphone's challenge, there are 10 rows of 4 tiles, so in each row, one tile is faulty. It's like I don't know what else to compare it to. Squid Game's glass, whatever. If you fall through, you have to start over from the beginning, and to win, you have to make it to the end successfully without falling. Since Pickle and Taco won, they get a hoverboard as an advantage. It's really, fucking helpful. Just kidding, Forrest breaks it in half. Paper and OJ are at the end and make the decision to let OJ win the challenge to make up for the morning. As punishment, Taco, Pickle, and Paper go through the death trap. Miphone thinks that 4S is too cruel, which is, insane coming from Miphone, and he locks him away as 4S pleads and says that he's coming. Hopefully that's not important. Apple is still stuck on Idiotic Island and all alone now. Aw, anyways. Pickle and Taco get pissy over OJ and pretend not to hear him because they're salty for, no reason. I don't know. Pickle gets over it after OJ says he's sorry for not letting Paper help him and Taco with her lemon problem. Pickle says that he's been wearing the eye patch on the wrong eye, he gets eliminated, and tells Taco that she's the only one who deserves to win. Mifon brings the eliminated contestants out to help narrow down the final two, by having them vote out one of the three. After Lightbulb fat shames Baseball because he can't fit into the voting box, they make it public. So, Baseball, Knife, Salt, Bo. Baseball, Knife, Salt, Bo. Bo's not actually speaking, it's just Knife speaking for her. And Pickle, vote out Paper. Nickel, Balloon, Marshmallow, vote out Taco. And Pepper, Lightbulb, Paintbrush, Bomb, vote out OJ. So, Paper has the most, he gets out. OJ vows to win for Paper. Okay, gay ass. Taco... Taco says salmonella, and then Bo breaks out of her box. Ooh. It opens with the eliminated contestants complaining again about being on Idiotic Island. Oh my god, shut up. Mifon comes and asks who wants to leave, and it shows that box has escaped her box fully. That box has escaped her box fully? What the fuck? Bo, Jesus Christ. He brings them out to have them support whoever on the final two they want to win, and Pickle's the only one cheering for Taco. That's so messed up and evil. Mifon announces that the final challenge is going to be a compilation of all of the past competitions in one. OJ gets a prize for having the most fans, and it's a cork. That's all he gets. Taco's fast as fuck and is breezing through the challenges while OJ's having trouble with them. 4S shows up and tells Mifon that they need to get out of here because he is here, saying that he's here to help him. Then a white phone comes out of nowhere and wants to kill Mifon because he's new and improved. He also wants to take the $1 million. 4S shoots him and tells Mifon to come with him. It's a Terminator reference. Taco's still winning and in the lead until she falls on the quicksand and OJ's in the lead. And then she grabs him with her tongue. What the fuck? It cuts to Mifon and 4S in the elimination grounds until the white phone catches up with them and breaks the elimination board. It falls into the quicksand and Mifon and 4S fall with it. Oh no, I wonder what's gonna happen to them. They're literally fine. They don't get caught into the quicksand. Taco's still in the lead, and OJ questions how all of a sudden she's quick on her feet, agile, and how that's not the Taco he's been competing with. Keep that in mind. Taco's about to win, and then she gets tackled by fucking evil Bo? What the hell? Why is she so mean? OJ doesn't give a fuck, and him and Taco race to the end. And then OJ wins. He wins! Yeah! Then Taco starts to speak normal with a British accent? What the hell? Taco says that this wasn't supposed to happen and that she faked everything. She says that Pickle was never really her friend. What the hell? And Bo ruined her plans. She gets salty, steals OJ's case of money, and then starts fuck off. I don't know. The white phone comes and takes the prize. Him and 4S are fighting, and then 4S gets shot. Oh my god. The white phone shoots Mifon off of a cliff, and he hangs there. Bo gets trapped in the box again by Marshmallow because Marshmallow figures out how Bo could potentially help if she gets crazy. I don't know what I was writing here, but, I'm too lazy to watch the episodes again. Taco takes the money back while all of this is happening. OJ tackles Taco, and she drops the case.
I will not be threatened by Mexican food.
It cuts to the white phone with the case again, and Marshmallow lets Bo out of the box. Forrest grabs Taco, fires a lemon out of her, causing a chain reaction of the lemon hitting Bo, the white phone, and Mifon into the water below the cliff. And then they die. 4S makes the decision to downgrade himself so Mifon can come back. And 4S is gone. It works, and Mifon comes back, and everything's fine again. Taco runs away as Adam calls Mifon and tells him that he'll give him a 20% raise if he hosts season 2. Ole mole. OJ tells Mifon that the $1 million are gone since the case is gone, and Mifon says that the money's in the bank, not in the case, dumbass. OJ's asked what he's gonna spend his money on, and he gives a long-ass speech about what he feels, and he wants to get something for everyone. That's the moral of his fucking speech. He just wants to get something that everyone can have. Mifon finally gives him a cookie, one of his most famous cookies, I've been cutting out what he gives to them as prizes, but each time he's like, oh, I baked you cookies, but I ate them because I'm a fat slob. And he gives him like another like fucking prize. So this is the first time someone gets to try one of his cookies. No one's ever eaten them, you know? Like, this is just like one in a lifetime me phone cookie. So we'll find out what it tastes like.
OJ, tell us what it tastes like.
The cookie tastes like shit.
It tastes like crap.
That was season 1! Season 1 definitely was a fun season. It's something that you can tell was made from a place of genuine love for the series. I thought it was a pretty funny season. The cast and the dialogue were great, and I think that this was a great setup for season 2, because even though things like Bo and the 4S and the white phone thing got tied up because they died, Adam could totally expand on this if he wanted to. And I'm not saying like Adam is the boss, I mean like Adam, the creator of the series. Which may or may not have happened. Teehee. I don't think I have anything bad to say about the season. All the episodes were fun, and if anything, at the end of the day, this is a series made by some 14-year-old, his dad and his friends, which I don't think I can hate on even if I tried. Watching the series again and looking on how much the animation and the assets improved is really amazing. You can just see how far the series has came over the 2 years it was being made for season 1. I think that compared to the other 2 seasons, season 1 just has that like nostalgic place in my heart that the others just don't have. Anyways, season 1 was a good way to start off the series. Now let's get into season 2. The episode starts off with OJ walking with his groceries to his new hotel. Oh my god, you bought a hotel! Everyone is partying and they're having a good time. Look at these guys dancing. It's so fun. Apple walks into the kitchen with OJ and thanks him for saving her from Idiotic Island. And then Marshmallow walks in and then they start shit together. I don't know. OJ doesn't allow Balloon in his hotel. This might like sound insignificant, but this is kind of important. Remember this. The next day, they hear a plane from the outside and it's Mephone. He jumps off his plane and then cracks his pussy, aw. Mephone says that he has a new personal assistant to help him with the new season, and it's a toilet. I love this guy. Mephone says that season 2 will take place here. OJ says nuh-uh, and Mephone crashes a plane into his hotel. Like some certain event years ago. The new cast comes! Oh my god, it's Suitcase and Fan! Oh my god, big fan! I'm a big fan! I'm a big fan! I'm a big fan! Lightbulb is sassy to the new cast, and I miss sassy Lightbulb. Mephone explains that he wants some of the old contestants to join this season, and he's going to determine this by spinning a slot machine, and whoever gets picked will be put onto season 2. Mephone hates toilet, and he has this gag where he tells him to go, like, leave and find him wires, so he does that right now. Anyways, Paintbrush, Knife, Nickel, Lightbulb, Balloon, Marshmallow, Apple, and Baseball join the show. Mephone can bring people back to life now, and when he brings OJ back to life, OJ's distraught about his hotel being all fucked up. Paintbrush says something funny, and Mephone starts off the series, blah, 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 blah. The fucking intro, fire! Always has been fire, always will be fire. Mephone tells Toilet to fuck off, and then it's time to start an icebreaker, yes! Literally, they're on an icebreaker. Balloon gets out first, Paintbrush kills him, Yin Yang gets out themselves, and then Soap gets out next. I'm gonna try and get through this quickly because there's like a lot of new characters. Not really, I just don't care enough to dwell on this. To catch my breath. Balls. Trophy kills Tissues and wants to start an alliance with Knife, but he rejects Trophy. He says it's because he's a jock and Knife is a jerk. Knife punches Trophy out. Lightbulb slaps Fan away because he talks to her. Baseball and Nickel form an alliance and are looking for another member. Baseball and Nickel kick Cheesy when he asks to join the alliance. Test Tube is next when Knife kills her. Lightbulb kicks off Box, and then Apple and Marshmallow start at it again, and then Marshmallow pushes Apple off. Knife attempts to get Baseball out, but he can't because he's too heavy. Do you get the joke? Do you get it? Anyways, Baseball gets Knife out instead, and then the best character comes out, and she asks to join their alliance. She is so mimpy. I love her. They let her join, and Paintbrush bumps into Mike after the cherries are being transphobic, and Mike yells off Paintbrush, Nickel, Marshmallow, Suitcase, and then the cherries. Mike falls in last after the ice breaks, and then the last two who are like on the ice is Baseball and Lightbulb. They get to be the team captains. The teams are decided in the order in which they fell, even in odd numbers. So on Baseball's team, the Grand Slams, it's him, Mike, Suitcase, Knife, Nickel, Box, Cheesy, Trophy, Soap, and Balloon. On Lightbulb's team, the Bright Lights, it's her, the Cherries, Paintbrush, Marshmallow, Fan, Apple, Tissues, Test Tube, and Yin Yang. Knife and Nickel dispute about Paintbrush's gender, a gag that was in season 1. I thought we would have left it there. Anyways, the first challenge is Dodgeball. You all know how that works. Cheesy makes a gay joke to Trophy, and the Grand Slams
You'd like
win.
that, wouldn't you?
The Cherries make fun of Marshmallow and Apple's constant beef, and Marsh and Apple start to shit on each other, because of that. Marshmallow makes TBH eyes when Apple says that she likes to ruin holidays for people. Marshmallow's confused, and Apple reminds her of when her and Paintbrush ruined Christmas for her back in season 1, which I don't know how Marshmallow could forget that. Marshmallow apologizes, and they become girlfriends. They become friends. Then the Cherries send Marshmallow to space? What the hell, guys? They pin the blame on Box, and Box gets put into the calm down corner. Oh no. Mephone introduces his new assistant, Meepad, who Toilet doesn't like at all, but Toilet goes off to get wires for Mephone. He's gone. Mephone does the elimination quickly because think of the lawsuits if he doesn't get Marshmallow back. Tissues gets voted out and kicked through the portal, and the challenge to get Marshmallow back starts. If they don't get Marshmallow back on Earth within an hour, she dies, and Mephone won't be able to bring her back. So both teams are up for elimination if that happens. Knife sits out this challenge to make the team members on both sides even, and the teams start to work on a spaceship to get Marshmallow out of space. Suitcase comes in clutch with some tools to help build said rocket, and Paintbrush stereotypes Test Tube at being good at science. Lightbulb shames them for thinking that, which it's true that Test Tube is, but Nickel shits on Baseball while climbing a tree to power their lemon-powered rocket. He doesn't actually shit on him, it's Chocolate. Paintbrush manipulates Suitcase to give them some of her tools, and convinces Lightbulb to ask Test Tube if they can build the rocket. Anyways, Test Tube ends up building the rocket for her team, and, Lightbulb was proved wrong, whatever. Both teams choose 3 people to go into space. The Grand Slams choose Suitcase, Mike, and Balloon. The Bright Lights choose Fan, Yin Yang, and Apple. While the 2 teams go off, Trophy goes to find Knife because he's the only cool person here. I know what you are. Trophy finds him playing with a Dora doll from season 1 and takes a picture, blackmailing him into doing whatever Trophy wants for the rest of the competition. Cut to the Grand Slams making it to Marsh first. Huzzah! I love those guys. I love the Grand Slams. Suitcase is being fun and whimsical, and they save Marsh from Mars. The Bright Lights come next and only find an egg left on the planet. They conclude that Marshmallow died and turned into an egg. Alright. They end up taking the egg with them just in case they are able to bring her back. They find out that Marshmallow is actually alive when they get back. Marsh and Apple have a beautiful reunion. Oh, so cute. Fan decides to become a single father and keeps the egg to remind him that someone will always be for him in his lonely hours. He says this, I'm quoting him, I'm not just making this up. Mephone yells at Toilet for getting the wrong color of wires, and the Bright Lights are up for elimination again. Yin Yang starts to fight over if they should drink water or Dr. Fizz, and while fighting, they accidentally open a thingy, whatever, that takes them to Test Tube's secret lab. How she made this, assuming it's been 3 days into the competition, I have no idea. They break the first rule of the 5 seconds they've been there, and Test Tube decides to use them as a lab rat for her latest experiment. Experiment 21. Look, if you know, you know, and if you don't, oh well. She explains that it's supposed to split them into 2 separate people, and then Yin Yang downs that shit. It works, and they successfully split, which turns out to be a terrible idea because Yin immediately goes off and wreaks havoc. Also, I noticed that in this season at least, I don't know if it changed in season 3, they refer to Yin as Yang. Yin is the black side, while Yang is the white side. I don't know how they mess this up. It took me 1 Google search, but their names are flipped, so I'm going to be calling them the correct names. Trophy is still blackmailing Knife, and physical abuse happens. Elimination time, da-da, happens, and Apple and Marshmallow are being very eerie-ful, and the Cherries are eliminated. Who would have guessed? They confess that they were the ones to launch Marshmallow into space, and that they only did it because they were mad at Apple and Marsh didn't like their joke. Okay. Yin cuts the Cherries off. Oh no. And instead of just leaving, he decides he's gonna kill everyone? What? The next challenge is a triathlon. We already know what this is. For this triathlon, they have to swim, cycle, and run. Team captains don't get to participate, so this challenge, Nickel appoints himself as team captain and chooses who's to go. He elects Soap, Knife, and Mike. Lightbulb elects Yin Yang, Test Tube, and Fan. This is the worst lineup I've seen for a triathlon. Nickel hits a woman, Toilet gets pushed into the pool by Miphone because he splashes juices all over him, and Soap runs for her life. While he goes to get wires for Miphone, he knocks Box into the pool. Anyways, Yin is being a little bitch, throws Yang at Knife, and he breaks his leg. Fan self-promos and Mike fumbles for her team. The Grand Slams lose and are up for elimination. Trophy doesn't care that Knife broke his leg and still pursues to blackmail him. Ooh, what the hell? Such a mean man. Yin is still being a little bitch and kills Marshmallow. What the hell? Yang realizes that they were meant to be one and asks Test Tube to put them back to normal. After some struggle, they drink another potion and return to be Yin Yang. Post-credits reveal that Lightbulb goes to bed at 7:46 p.m. Jesus, what a grandma. Knife is feeding Trophy grapes. Fruity. And Knife decides to stop doing whatever Trophy wants and to just show the picture to everyone. After Trophy calls Baseball fatty, he shows everyone the picture, which the new contestants laugh at, but the true OG contestants don't give a fuck because he literally had it in Idiotic Island, so like, who cares? They all think Trophy is an asshole and leave him. Knife says that he never had a chance to face off against him or something. I don't know. Trophy tells him to take a swan dive off the roof. I mean, he tells him to jump off a bridge. That's what he says. Trophy gets voted off. No surprise there. He kills Box and tells Suitcase to shut up. Knife says, "No more Mr. Knife Guy," and kicks him through that freaky portal everyone goes through when they're eliminated. And peace is restored. The pizza party gets ruined, and the challenge for the episode is to make the best pizza. And then Lightbulb says her iconic line.
Wait, anything? I want the pizza now.
The challenge starts, and Soap elects herself as the leader for this challenge. She makes Knife, Suitcase, Nickel, and Box go get some ingredients. It cuts to the bright lights, and Lightbulb wants to make a cookie pizza, which everyone hates. I don't know why they hate this. This is like a good idea. They didn't specify what kind of pizza they had to make, actually. So they could make a cookie pizza. Until she wants to kill Fan's baby and then put it on the pizza. Paintbrush and Lightbulb get into an argument and elects themselves as the new team captain, and then sends Lightbulb to the calm down corner, and then sends Lightbulb to the calm down corner, but decides to make the cookie pizza anyways. Suitcase and Balloon go literal flower picking. I heart her. And Yin Yang eats his team's pizza. Okay, buddy. Lightbulb gives Paintbrush the cookie pizza she made, and they plan to submit that for the contest. The Grand Slam's pizza looks like shit, but submitted anyways. There are 3 guest judges. There's Window, Gamey, and Puffball's speaker box. I love object show references, guys. The Grand Slam's pizza sucks ass. Also, why the fuck is Window hating on Suitcase so hard? Suck my cock! The bright lights win the challenge, and Cheesy pours water onto the judges. Yeah, you get them, man.
Ow!
Marshmallow and Apple are drawing some pictures, and can I just say that I love Apple's drawing? Like, I don't care if it's spelled wrong, it's supposed to be bad. I love it. She's such a good drawer. Marsh is drawing some scary-ass pictures of Bo, and Apple gets, like, traumatized. She says she's drawing it because she feels guilty about Bo, because she put her in that tiny box and made her turn evil and go on a rampage killing Miphone 5, and then he fell off a cliff, caused a huge explosion, and killed herself. Apple gets PB and jealous, then switches up when Marshmallow says that she thought she was nice. I know what you are, Apple. Marsh goes to ask Miphone if he can bring Bo back to life, and Fan brings up a great point.
Yeah, she's like the fan favorite.
Miphone attempts to bring Bo back to life to show Fan and Marsh wrong, but to no avail. Since Bo died while Miphone was dead, he never got the notification to recover her, and he can't bring her back. Adam calls Miphone and says that since Bo died, the ratings have been down. He tells him to go find a way to get her back ASAP. Then Toilet interrupts the scene, and then Miphone asks him to find a way to bring Bo back. After shitting on Soap's pizza some more, Box gets voted out. Oh, that sucks. Apple looks into Box because she's curious about what is actually inside there, and she sees Taco. Just kidding, it says the word Box in it. Toilet comes back and says he found the next best thing to Bo. Some guy. It's just some guy. This is Doe. He's Bo's big brother. Okay. He falls down some stairs and Marsh gets pissed off. Next challenge winner gets Doe on their team. Yay. It's a soccer match, so whoever is the first to get 5 goals wins. Nickel sits out of the challenge to even the players on each team, which he isn't really happy about, so So sad for him, I guess. I don't know. Lightbulb says just nonsense and the game begins. Honestly, this challenge is kind of boring and nothing noteworthy happens, except for Nickel teaching Knife what sarcasm is and Yin Yang fucking everything up for their team. Lightbulb's speech gets cut off. Like, she's supposed to have a speech here, but it just gets, like, cut off abruptly. Like, what did she say?
Poor shot! We'll never make it!
Calm down, Paper. Let's win this challenge the bright way!
Anyways, the Bright Lights lose again. Doe gets to be on the Grand Slams team. Wow, fun. And just kidding, Yin Yang fucking eats him. What the hell? Mifone can't bring Doe back to life because he never created a life icon for him, so he's dead forever. Oh, that sucks. Oh. Anyways. Fan starts to have a mini crisis because no one notices him on the show. I notice you, Fan. I notice you. Paintbrush and Marsh run away from a paint-covered Apple wanting to spend more time with Marshmallow. Marshmallow tells them that she doesn't like that Apple doesn't care about Bo, and how she feels guilty over Bo, and Paintbrush comforts her. Aw, so cute. A white phone comes out of nowhere. This is like, I think, a separate white phone. I don't know. And then a pink phone comes. Who are you guys? Anyways, they come to say that they came to kill Mifone and ask where he is. Fan and Test Tube lie, and then they both fall into water. Okay. Yin Yang gets voted out. Literally nothing happens this elimination. The next challenge is the teams have to go into a haunted house, and whoever stays inside the house the longest without leaving wins for their team. Nickel, out of nowhere, just starts to rag on Suitcase for not wanting to go into the haunted house, and Soap is getting some development. Yay! Everyone splits up except for my favorite alliance! Plus Balloon. Balloon is also there. Don't forget about Balloon. Apple's being a clingy girlfriend, and Marsh almost dies and then goes to hide from Apple. She runs into a creepy room and a music box starts to play. And guess who fucking popped out from it? That's right! My girl Bo is back! I know that's right! Bo posts a picture of Marsh's dead body on the floor and explains that this is what happened to objects when they die forever. Their spirits become trapped in the house of this purgatory mansion, I guess. I don't know if this is just the characters participating in the show or if this applies to every single object. That just be like, I don't understand what she means by this. Anyways, Bo starts to tweak out when Marsh mentions her death, but she says it's okay, she has a tail. It's fun. Bo helps Marsh by saying that she'll scare everyone out of the house for her. Nickel's being a freak and starts to tell a scary story, but Balloon and Suitcase run for it. Knife runs into Suitcase in the other one. B's condescending about Suitcase hanging out with Balloon, and then whips his Dora doll out. Bo possesses it and rips the doll up, grabbing him by the leg and throws him out the window. Cheesy keeps fumbling the bag with Mike with his jokes, and she's not having it. Bo gets mad at Mike for being loud and screams in her face, knocking her out of a window. They are dropping like flies now. Cheesy says another joke, Bo said it wasn't funny, and Cheesy falls out of a window trying to punch her. He does like the why I oughta thing, like he's such a loser. While Test Tube and Fan get into Paintbrush's gender, Bo decides to fuck with them and starts to possess furniture, which isn't working on the two. They don't believe in ghosts because they're nerd and geek. They don't believe in that stupid shit. They keep making logical reasons behind the furniture moving, and not so logical reasons. When Bo reveals her true self and scares fans so bad he jumps out a window. Test Tube has a crisis about her being wrong about the paranormal and kills herself. Anyways, Lightbulb spits some more bars at Paintbrush, but they are not having it. Bo comes in to mess with them, but gets burned by Lightbulb turning on and poofs away. So I guess she's like immune, not immune. I guess Bo's like sensitive to light or something. I don't know. Bo gets mad and possesses Paintbrush's luscious locks. Lightbulb jumps on them to be flying buddies, and then Bo throws them both out of the window. Suitcase takes Knife's words to heart and asks Balloon about the last season, and asks that if he was so bad at manipulation, why did he even try it? Balloon confesses that that's how he thought you would win a reality TV show, and says that that's not who he really is. He goes on and says that he's just really paranoid about everyone else and how they think about him. Suitcase believes him and says that she'll always be by his side. Aww. Anyways, Bo interrupts and kills Balloon, which scares Suitcase to jump out a window. Marsh is venting about Apple to Bo, who really could not care less. Bo leaves quickly after Marsh tells her about Apple being annoying when Apple very loudly talks about how she's secretly using Marshmallow to get further into the game. Marshmallow confronts her about what she just said, to which Apple says that she was just kidding. Apple then shakes her head and looks confused. Yeah, okay, more on that later. Put a pin in that. Marsh tells Bo to take care of her, which takes a while for Bo to come out, but then she throws Apple out of a window. Nickel jokes about being possessed. Baseball isn't into it, but then Bo possesses Baseball to show Nickel what it's really like to be possessed. Bo makes Baseball scare Nickel, which then she throws the two out of the house. Baseball has no idea what just happened, but Nickel doesn't believe him, so he doesn't know that he was just possessed. So pulls up with a Ghostbuster fucking thing to clean the house, but then accidentally sucks up Bo. Whoops, what can you do? What can you do? Marsh gets mad and then charges at Soap, but she gets stuck in the process, and then Soap launches her out of the house. Soap wins for her team. Yeah! And the bright lights are up for elimination. Aw. Post credits and Doe shows up at the manor. Ooh, yay, okay, whatever. Alright, you can probably tell how I'm summarizing each episode now that I'm getting tired of it, but YOLO swag, we only have 8 more episodes left. I think that this episode is one of my favorites. It's not my favorite episode, but it's one of my favorites. You will see why. The episode opens up with Salt and Pepper in an MLB head-ass background. Yeah, that's right. We are in Hotel OJ. Let's fucking go. Bomb is swimming in the hot tub they're in. What? Hello there, Bomb. Salt interrupts Pickle, who's about to tell OJ something to get her and Pepper some towels. OJ interrupts Pickle to point out the weird door in the hotel. The door says, "Do not enter or you will die." Ooh, spooky. Pepper blindly opens the door and guess who comes out? It's the eliminated contestant. Oh my god. So the portal they go in, yeah, that it leads to a random closet in OJ's hotel, which is then so that they've been in that room since the first elimination, which the first eliminated was Tissues. So just imagine him sneezing on you every day for months, for a year. I would actually kill myself. There's no way. Mifone comes in and gets mad that they open the door despite him not telling OJ anything, and OJ takes him to court to sue him. Yeah, get his ass, fucking pussy! Paper is defending his boyfriend in court, and Toilet is being Toilet. Oh hell no, that's my lawyer. I'm going to jail. Vox speaks his piece, and it's so sad that Mifone gets 1 hour of jail, to which Toilet fucks it up for him and gets him a day in jail. While Mifone is serving his time, OJ gets to be host for a day ordered by the court. So OJ does a whimsical ass spin, and it's mentioned that the contest has been going on for a year now. They've been in that closet for half a year? What? How did no one find this until just now? I'm going crazy. Suke says I can fix them and tries to give Knife some advice about being nice, which Knife doesn't like. Aww. The bright lights lie about winning the last contest when OJ asks who won. OJ says since no one's going to admit who lost, he eliminates one random person. And he picks Suitcase. Holy shit, it is so over for me. Why is she being so hated on? OJ takes them to his hotel and says that they're going to clean it, to which Soap is so freaking happy over. Pepper tells her bestest friends that Balloon is coming and to go into background mode. Everyone is hating on Balloon and kind of eats Pickle up by saying that at least he knew Taco was trouble. They hated him for speaking the truth, what can I say? Fan starts to nerd emoji out explain the pattern of the show, that each team wins like every 2 contests in a row. So like the Grand Slams will win 2, and then the Bright Lights win 2, and then it'll go back and forth and back and forth. Since the Grand Slams won last time, statistically, it'll be their turn to win the challenge. Paintbrush calls out his bullshit, and literally no one wants to do the challenge because of fans' statistics. Marsh snaps on Apple for her saying that she was using Marsh for the game, to which Marshmallow interrupts Apple trying to speak, so, like, you know, that's fun. Miscommunication, yay! Lightbulb is like, of course, bae, I'll help you clean, and then dies, so now what? Pepper comes up with an amazing idea and says that while they're cleaning, they should sing, to which an absolute banger plays. I think that Keep On Cleaning is like my second favorite song from Inanimate Insanity. Maybe if we're not counting instrumentals. There are a couple more songs. I am obsessed with one of them. We will talk about that one later. Anyways, I think adding a musical aspect to the show was a really fun idea. The music of Inanimate Insanity, I think, just plays a big role into the show. Halfway through season 2, Adam just lets on some amazing composers like Joseph Schmidt, Lindsay Munich, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Logan Nelson, Katja Richardson, Ben Cross, and Morgan Hesmonhag. Hopefully I said that right and I'm not forgetting any names. But I really do enjoy the soundtrack for the show. Some of it has been playing in the background of this video. So, you know, if you like that, fucking listen to the rest of the soundtrack. Baseball, Nickel, and Knife be party poopers, and then absolute fire plays. After that beautiful number, we cut to Miphone in jail, okay? Everyone is in shock about what he's in for and think that he's the worst person ever. Pickle goes through some of his trash and comes across a picture of him and Taco together. He brings it back inside and then continues to play his video games. The Knife comes and joins in to play video games with him. Knife beats his ass in the game and explains in a like double meaning sort of way that he has to be able to go back and play the game to beat it. Just because he failed once doesn't mean that he will fail every time. It's like a metaphor, you know? I don't know. Anyways, Pickle strikes some gay-ass poses and then Knife runs away. Paintbrush is getting annoyed of doing the challenge by themselves and Fan tells them to just let go of the challenge. After Paintbrush gets crushed by a ladder, they crash out for the first time in the series and Fan just laughs at them? Okay, buddy. Paintbrush takes Fan's child and threatens to smash it on the floor. Jesus Christ. They almost do it, but then decide not to. Then they slip somehow and drop it. Test Tube saves the baby. Thank you, Test Tube. OJ thanks the teams, and when Soap asks who won the challenge, OJ says that it wasn't a contest, and he just wanted some help to clean his hotel. Okay. Then he says the challenge is actually a coin toss. Surely he can't be serious. He is. The Bright Lights win. Oh my fucking god! Miphone comes back and he has a change of heart, and brings back Suitcase. Yeah, my bias is back! Miphone then displays the actual votes from who was supposed to get eliminated, and it was Apple. I wonder why. Bye, Apple! Tissue sneezes on Miphone, ew, and he starts to glitch out. The portal now leads to a portion of the hotel with the consent of OJ that is dedicated to eliminated contestants. Post-credits, OJ welcomes the eliminated contestants and gives them keys to their rooms. Mike is walking around at night and hears rustling from a bush. Ooh, spooky. She walks to the bush, turns her gain up to try and hear anything, and fucking Cheesy interrupts her. Dude, go away! The rustling stops as whatever was behind the bush left, and Mike gets pissed off at Cheesy and says that his puns are not funny. The best character comes out of nowhere and she tries to comfort Mike. Then Mike kicks a bush and she backs away. She's gone. Just before the episode ends, someone is looking through a bush at Mike. Ooh, the suspense is freaking killing me. The Alliance is seen playing soccer together. Aw, cute. And Suitcase decides that she needs to take the contest more seriously now. Nickel gives her his sass, and Baseball says that he was scared that he almost lost Suitcase due to OJ's stupid elimination. Mike is seen in the bleachers and is writing in her diary, trying to piece together what it is she saw in the bushes. Cheesy comes again and makes fun of Mike. Again. Mike gives Cheesy a reality check and he gets sad. Wah, wah, wah. Anyways, elimination time. Yay! Miphone comes out all gross and icky. Ew. He's like sick or something because of Tissue sneezing on him. Guess who's eliminated? It's Cheesy, because of course it was Cheesy. Cheesy realizes that his jokes actually hurt people, and Mike says that he doesn't have to quit comedy, just make better jokes. And don't do any more commercials. Miphone dies and Test Tube throws rice at Miphone's dead body. And Lightbulb makes it worse by throwing soy sauce on him. Thanks, girl. Meepad says that the challenge for this episode is to go to the Me Cloud, the Meeple headquarters, to find a new battery for Miphone, and whoever doesn't participate gets immediately eliminated. Miphone and Toilet decide to accompany the team, so Meepad goes with the Bright Lights and Toilet goes with the Grand Slams. They take a hot air balloon up to the Me Cloud, and Fan is so freaking hyped. Paintbrush drops a fire roast and makes this really awkward until Meathead steps in and plays sounds of a waterfall for them. The Bright Lights are catching up to the Grand Slam, so Soap throws Toilet at them. And she's hated for by doing that. Like, leave her alone. She's so cool. Everyone in the show hates women. Toilet comes back and throws up on Soap's face, but she calms herself down. Yay! I really like that they're like actually developing her character over the episodes and not just keeping her as like the clean freak character. Love her. Anyways, the Grand Slams get to the Me Cloud first. Knife kills another man and they enter the building. Enter Steve Cobbs.
I am Steve,
Steve Cobbs.
This guy. Oh, do people have some things to say about this guy? Anyways, do you get his name? His name's it's Steve Cobbs. It's Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. They explained that they need a battery for Mi phone, which is a Model 4. Steve Cobbs calls him old, and Lightbulb calls him a pinhead. He gets TBH eyes over Fan's child. I'm really good at writing. He decides to give the tour of the facility, and Mike brings up a great point that if Mi Phone 5S and 5C, the pink and the white phone from earlier, came to kill Mi Phone, and Steve Cobbs made them, why would he be supporting them if he designed them, or at least programmed those two to kill Mi Phone? He says that they were just staged fights because they get them a lot of views and product placement. Knife says Mi Phone never told them that anything was fake, and Steve says maybe he wanted some genuine performances. He goes to continue with the tour, and Nichols says that someone, a Suitcase, should go get the battery while everyone is on the tour. Suitcase doesn't want to steal anything, and Nickel just manipulates her and says that since she wanted to take the show more seriously, this is her chance to do so. Baseball encourages this, and Suitcase gives in and then goes to find the battery. Hobbs talks about his parental issues, and Baseball starts to feel bad about sending Suitcase to go steal for the challenge. Nichols says that they need to make sure that Suitcase is loyal to them since Soap has been getting ahead of herself lately. Nichols says that she has a big head, Soap repeats what he says, and Steve Cobbs thinks that Soap said that he had a big head. Suitcase finds a room with Mi Phone stuffs and walks in to grab the battery. Something turns on and calls her out on stealing, and Suitcase pulls this fucking face. Holy shit. I miss when season 2, when they would draw these faces, because there's so many, funny examples, and it makes me laugh. Anyways, she says that her friends would appreciate her getting this, to which the thingy adds on, for now. They tell Suitcase that they only care about her when there's something that she can give them, and if she knows that. To which they continue by saying,
"Betrayal is inevitable. The clock is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Tick tock, 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 tick tock.
Mr. Cobbs?
Thanks, Steve Cobbs. He tries to pitch his new Meeple watch to the contestants, and Balloon shits on him, then gets killed for it. I miss him every day. The tour ends, Steve Cobbs sees Fan's baby, and he wants it. He needs it. He tries to persuade Fan by saying it'll make the world better and that he'll become an innovator that way. Fan overthinks and says, fuck you, this is my baby. Steve insists, and the alphas... Jesus Christ. Why the fuck did I write this? The alphas come in and tell Cobbs that no means no, and Lightbulb knows a guy that would get creepy. What the fuck? Just as Steve takes Fan's egg, Suitcase comes in and says that she definitely didn't steal anything. Steve accuses Soap of being the one who stole because this is a shit on Soap episode apparently. Thanks guys. Suitcase caves and admits that she was the one who stole and apologizes for it. She throws the battery and Paintbrush catches it, running to their team to win the contest. Baseball gets mad at Soap for not just going along with being accused. Steve gets salty about not getting what he wants and says that it's just the beginning and he'll be in control soon enough. Okay, man. Toilet gets to the Bright Lights hot air balloon before they go away and says that he needs to save Meefilm since Meepad is always the one helping him. Toilet slices the hot air balloon and Meepad asks why he did that. Toilet just wants to be a good assistant to Meephone and a chance to be one, but he can't since Meepad is always chosen. Meepad explains that he never intended to seem better than Toilet. He's just doing his job in what Meephone asks him to. They have a fun moment when Paintbrush brings up that they're about to die. Too much is happening in the screenshot right now. Why does Marsh have TBH eyes? Why does Fan have the extra leg on his head? Why is Lightbulb drinking tea? Meepad teleports them out in time and everyone is okay. Toilet apologizes and the bright lights bring Meephone back and then they win the challenge. Hooray! Meepad only recognizes that Meepad helped him when he died. And when Meepad asks him to recognize and see that Toilet also helped, he says, nah. Suitcase is on a dock looking at herself in the water when Baseball asks her why she's out here alone. She says that sometimes it's good for her to be alone, and Baseball apologizes if he ever made her uncomfortable making her steal a battery last episode. She says that she was scared and stressed during that time, and whatever that thingy was in the room didn't help, because she's basically reciting what they said to her.
What are you doing? Who do you think you are? You're gonna get nothing but what you deserve! Death! Let death be your punishment!
Baseball tries to defend his boyfriend to Suitcase, but she really doesn't care. Once Baseball gets confirmation that they're cool and their alliance is still good, he leaves. Thanks, dude. Not even doing the bare minimum. Balloon is on some cliff and Suitcase joins him and then says some cryptic shit like, it's nice up here since they don't need approval from others. Suitcase asks what he means and Balloon explains that there was one time that he thought he needed everyone else's approval, and it cuts to a flashback before season 2 even takes place. He's practicing his apology to OJ in the rain. What a loser. OJ catches him and is like, what the fuck are you doing outside of my hotel, bro? OJ snatches Balloon's paper and reads it. He lets Balloon inside the hotel and everyone is like grossed out by him. They all fuck off and OJ and him have a one-on-one conversation about what Balloon really wants to talk about. Balloon says that he was just playing a character that was supposed to win. He wants to start over with everyone, and OJ understandably explains that the show itself makes people feel like they have to put on a character or a role. He says that for himself, he's taken the role of the caretaker, and I also feel like he's alluding to a certain Mexican food, nudge nudge. OJ explains that he understood that it was just a game, but everyone else might not understand that and think that the character he played is the real him. He questions why he needs them anyway, and Balloon says that it has to be them because they did everything together from the last season. OJ drops a bomb and says that if he never gives anyone else a chance, it'll only be them who he wants. Balloon has a new opportunity to meet new people and find someone who will accept him. OJ kicks him out of the hotel and Balloon doesn't want to change. Dumbass. It cuts back to Suitcase and Balloon, to which Suitcase says an apology shouldn't be made like that, and how it has to come from a truthful place. He says that nobody cares either way if it came from the truth or not, to which Suitcase says that she cares, and he just has to believe in himself, otherwise no one else will believe him. Soap and Mike are walking to a cliff with all of Soap's cleaning supplies, which I love that for them. Best friends. It's also really funny to me because they're voiced by the same person, so it sounds like they're having like a conversation with themselves. Soap decides that she's going to throw everything away because although she tries to scrub everything, nothing will really be clean. Mike regrets not talking to Soap at the beginning of the competition because how no one else on the team values her like she does, and Soap says that her opinion shouldn't matter to the others and that she should listen to her heart. After a push from Mike, she throws her supplies off the cliff. But on the bright side, they get spoiled lemon tickets as a prize! I don't know what that is, but Nickel's gonna scalp them. Good for him, I guess. Toilet tries to help with the elimination, but Mifon's being a dick and blows all of his papers away he made to help with today's elimination. Aww. Elimination happens and guess who it's gonna be? It's Soap. They set this up last episode. I am so distressed. She says her piece and leaves through the portal. I miss her every day. Anyways, it's a filler episode. Like, there's no challenge this episode. Mike's team leaves her and she walks off into the forest. Ben is blabbing about why Mifon might have left them and thinks that this episode isn't filler after all. Ooh. Knife shits on him and we go back to Mike in the forest. She starts to write in her diary about Soap. She gets mad, throws it, and it lands into a bush.
Dear Mike's diary, today I accidentally lost the triathlon.
A certain British voice starts to read the book, and oh my god, I wonder who it is. The voice jumps from the bush, and it's Taco! Oh, it's Taco! Oh my god, it's Taco! Taco calls Mike pathetic and says that she needs her for this contest. She tells her that if she helps Mike win, they'll split the million 50-50. After manipulating Mike, she says that she has gain, and then she fucks off somewhere, I don't know. It starts off with Mifon, Toilet, and Meatpad in front of a whiteboard figuring out what the next challenge should be, when Ole Mole, it's an acronym for maze. Mifon takes credit for Toilet saying maybe the idea is right in front of us, or something, I don't know. He shits out a whole ass maze, which I forgot he could do that. Or maybe he never showed that he can make things like that before, but just cut me some slack, man. This has been a multiple day project. Lightbulb chokes on air, and Mifon tells the contestants that the next challenge is to find their way through a hedge maze with a lot of twists and turns. Oh boy. Lightbulb calls Mifon a fat ass and then tells her team to split up. Nickel bosses his team around, and Mike stands up for herself, but it falls on deaf ears. Marsh and Paintbrush go off on their own because Marsh wants to talk to Paintbrush. Lightbulb gets sad that she doesn't get to go with her boo thing, so instead, her and Fan go off on their own. Fan tells Tess to take care of the egg while he's gone with Lightbulb because he doesn't trust the egg with Lightbulb. Toilet goes to trim some plant in Mifon's backyard, and Ole Mole, is he cutting the maze? We'll never know. Suitcase starts to go through a psychotic episode in the maze when Balloon finds her and they decide to go together. Lightbulb cheats, gets them teleported back to where they are, and Suitcase and Balloon run into her alliance, and they invite her to go along with them. Nickel talks shit to Balloon and Suitcase doesn't really appreciate that. She tells him that's not very nice. Nickel gets sarcastic and says, why don't we go make him the team leader? Which they don't catch on to. Baseball goes with it, and that pisses Nickel off. Balloon takes them through a sparkly path, which, kills everyone but him. It isn't the best look for Balloon right now, I'm gonna be honest. Nickel tells him to check ahead if it's safe, and tells his alliance to ditch him. Suitcase stands her ground and says that she won't leave him. Nickel blames them almost dying on Balloon, and when Suitcase says there's no proof of that, he says that he should kill himself. I mean that he should keep to himself. Balloon hears this and tells Nickel to suck it up and then leaves. Suitcase goes after him. Meanwhile, Test Tube is slowly going crazy and alone in the maze. Aw, so fun. Marsh wanted to talk to Paintbrush about Apple, and Marsh is reluctant to say when she heard Apple talking shit. When a repeated single piano note keeps playing, and Paintbrush takes notice to this, and then when they go to find the source of the sound, they find Fan and Lightbulb just fucking around with a keyboard. Paintbrush ignores them and tries to continue talking to Marshmallow, but the note keeps playing, and Paintbrush finds Fan with a fuck-ass wheel. I don't know what that is. Paintbrush crashes out, and Fan makes fun of them. Mike runs into them, and when she says what's wrong with people using you for your benefit, Paintbrush loudly presses an incorrect buzzer and takes Marsh with them. Balloon comes in, out of nowhere, and gives some of his insight on their team, and says that the whole competition is a joke, and brings up the spoiled lemon tickets as they got for a prize. Fan overhears and says that he loves those guys with their deep and analytical songs. He's just being loud and wrong. Fan gets mad when Mike doesn't agree with him, and she says the word gain. Balloon points to the gain thing she has on her back, and she runs off with an idea or something. I don't know, urethra. Anyways, Fan gets shot. Mike runs off behind some corner and turns her gain knob up. Taco is heard from the other side, and she proposes to help Mike navigate through the maze. Nickel vents about Balloon to Baseball, which he has a realization that he always lets Nickel act like this while he doesn't do anything about it. He says that he has no leadership skills, and Nickel tries to comfort him by saying that he's doing the most that he can as a team leader. Baseball cheers up because of his boy best friend, and we see Lightbulb and Fan also going crazy because of the maze. And Fan kind of breaks the fourth wall by saying their team might not have a big part in this episode, which they don't. Suitcase catches up to Balloon, and she says that she couldn't just leave him and let Nickel ditch him. Suitcase is left rethinking her bond with her alliance. Balloon snaps her out of it when Suitcase hears one more voice. Mike finds her way out of the maze, and Fan and Lightbulb find their way also. After a while, everyone but Knife and Test Tube are left at the end of the maze, and Mike, being the dumbass that she is, she yells to Knife where they are, which also alerts Test Tube where they are. When they both cross at the same time, Mephone wants them to go through the maze again, but when he looks at it, the whole maze is destroyed from Toilet cutting it up. So he was actually cutting the maze. Thank you, Toilet. Mephone says that no one is up for elimination this time, but he'll make up for that next time. Just keep that in mind. Put a pin in that also. Mephone says that instead of voting who will be voted out, the viewers get to vote for the next challenge. At night, it's said that Fan bought spoiled lemon tickets from a scalper, and that scalper is maybe Nickel when he walks in all pimped out. Anyway, Spoiled Lemon sings about going to a party.
Broke my heart on the beat. Oh, wow. All I wanna do is go to a party.
Okay, so this episode might be my favorite in this whole season, maybe in all of Inanimate Insanity. You will see. Also, this is the longest episode by far by 1 minute. It's like 31 minutes long. The second longest is 30 minutes, and then I think the next is 28. I don't know. This is going to be a really long section to go through, so I'll try to get through it quickly. Pat teleports in front of her and tells her that she's going far from the show's perimeters without permission. Marsh runs into the direction of the haunted house where Bo lives. She calls out to Bo, and instead fucking Doe falls down some stairs? Bruh. Bo overhears Marshmallow being there and goes to greet her. Doe is being annoying, and Marsh confesses that she's here to talk, since no one in the show is hearing her out about Apple. Bo gets kinda mad at the mention of Apple, and Doe interrupts them by rhyming. Bo says that he's not her brother and doesn't know why or how he got there, which is really funny to me. Like, this guy just showed up. Like, imagine you're just chilling in this big-ass mansion and you're a ghost, right? Then some guy that has a similar name to you keeps calling you his sister and is always rhyming. I would kill myself. Wait. Mifone is rushing to do the elimination when he remembers that he said there would be no elimination around this time. He introduces the challenge that the viewers picked out, which is called Bucket Brigade. Each team has to fill a large bucket thingy with water by passing a bucket from the dock and back, as the platform inside of the thingy rises when more water is added. The member on the platform then has to grab a key that is tied to the top. The key is used to unlock a chest, which has 3 balls inside. Lol. They have to throw their balls at the team's targets, and whoever hits the target 3 times wins. Baseball dick rides on Nickel, and Mifone explains that he's letting them vote for each other again, and is doing this to make up for no elimination last time. Suitcase fucking owns Mifone, and Nickel is pissed off at her and Balloon are now friends. Dude, like, leave her alone, Jesus. Nickel pulls Suitcase aside and says that because of the losing team now being able to vote for each other, they can't afford to lose because of Balloon. Suitcase gets visibly angry by him saying this, and Nickel continues by saying that they should give him a small role in the challenge and shouldn't talk to him any more than the bare minimum. Baseball takes Nickel away after he says this to talk to him and explains that Balloon and Suitcase are friends like he and Nickel are, and that he would be an asshole. I mean, he would be hypocritical to separate them. Listen to your male wife, Nickel. Jesus. Nickel says there's a difference between being in an alliance and being friends, saying an alliance isn't supposed to be a personal thing. Baseball questions him by saying, is it really an alliance if you feel like you have no control? And says that they should let her have a friend. Thank you so much, Baseball, for doing the bare minimum this time. Love you. Nickel agrees when he says Suitcase should feel like she has a choice here, and holy shit, Balloon, you make me laugh sometimes.
Whoa! Look at that, Suitcase! You exist again!
Anyways, Nickel tells Suitcase that he's changed his mind about Balloon, and leaves it up to Suitcase to decide what Balloon does this challenge. Suitcase decides that Balloon should be by the docks, tying the buckets to the ropes and filling the buckets with water. Nickel actually listens to Suitcase and takes her word for it. It's fucking revolutionary. Taco's nosy ass was listening to their conversation and tells Mike that this is a challenge to test Balloon's abilities. Balloon figures the same and tells this to Suitcase. And Suitcase says that he doesn't need their approval and that he's gonna win this for himself. Freaking love Suitcase. Taco tells Mike now that it's her job to give Baseball and Nickel a reason to get Balloon out. And she pulls out, like, a taser? Holy shit, put that down. And tells Mike she wants to paralyze him? When Mike says, what the fuck, no, like any normal person would, they get into an argument about how since she gave directions to Mike last time, what makes this any different? And to that I say, Taco, like, do you need a diagnosis? Because what is wrong with you? Like, how is giving directions through a maze to win a challenge on the same level as paralyzing someone? Anyways, Taco says that Mike messed the challenge up for them last time, so it's either her or Balloon. Mike says that she'll think about it and goes to talk to Balloon. She drops the taser, and when Taco gets on her for it, she turns her gain down. After Mike fucks with Balloon's head, saying that there might be a possibility of him getting eliminated, Paintbrush tells Mifone that Marshmallow isn't there. Meatpad comes and tells them that Marsh has left the show's parameters, and Mifone does not give a fuck. He says that if she isn't back by the next episode, she'll be disqualified and eliminated. Paintbrush gets sad that Marsh didn't say anything to them, and man, I just feel bad for them. Like, Marshmallow is one of the only people on their team besides Lightbulb that they were really close with because, you know, they were in season 1 together. And I know that they have Lightbulb, but Marsh and Paintbrush were more close at this point, you know? It cuts to Marsh hanging out with Bo still, and Marshmallow ignores her, thinking about Apple. Again, always on that damn Apple. Marshmallow starts to talk about Apple again and says that Apple seems like the perfect friend, but since she heard what Apple said about her, she's questioning if anything was real. Bo says that she's out of sight, out of mind, so why not think about Bo instead? Okay, Bo. Bo says that she doesn't think that Apple was important, and that the show's behind them now, so they have to face the real world. Paintbrush has been too caught up in things to have a chance to talk with Marshmallow. Bo says couldn't be me, and gets really weird. Marshmallow notices, and when she asks about it, Bo brushes it off. Marshmallow pushes and Bo breaks. She starts to say that maybe Apple was a bad friend, and maybe she made Apple say all of those things so Marshmallow would realize that it's true. What the fuck? Anyways, back to the contest. It starts and they start to get their buckets full. I used this fan picture on my homework right here. I just thought I would say that. I really like this picture. Lightbulb coughs up a crab? And when Paintbrush asks what she's doing, Lightbulb says she's looking for the golden coin, which was a challenge back in season 1, girl, catch up. Fan gives some speech about apologizing to Paintbrush while Test Tube is pissed off that he won't take the bucket. Balloon trips and drops the bucket into the water, and Nickel says that Suitcase should get the bucket. While Suitcase goes and gets the bucket, she starts to hear voices like when she was in the maze. Seaweed grabs her and tries to hold her down, but she comes up to the surface and she gives Nickel the bucket with no seaweed on her. We'll get more into that later, I think, maybe. Marshmallow asks how Bo made Apple say the things she said, and Bo explains that she possessed Apple. So that's why Apple looked confused after Marsh tells Bo to take care of her and why Bo takes a while. Bo says that Apple was one of the only contestants that Marshmallow cared about, so that's why she did what she did. She wanted to stand out for Marshmallow or she would be nothing to Marsh. And then another song plays, yes! I don't really like this one as much as I like Keep On Cleaning, but regardless, it's still a very fun song. Bo sings about how it sucks to be dead and how without the game she doesn't feel alive. Marsh sings about how she views it as the opposite way. They have a cute duet about how Marsh will be there for her something. Oh, cute. The music video, though, is mixed with the actual competition and shows both teams struggling. They're going through it. Like, why can't we all be happy and jolly and fun again, guys? No, guys, stop. Don't do that. No, the alliance. No. Meatpad takes note that the contestants have become erratic. I mean, shit, if I was in that alliance with Nickel, I would too. Meatpad says to Toilet that all of them are so busy pleasing others, they aren't pleased with themselves. Ooh, so philosophical. Yep. Bo tells Marsh that she should live at the mansion with her and Doe. Marsh agrees, but to one condition, that she wants to bring someone. Oh, I wonder who. Knife starts to get salty with Mike and says that it's nice that she joins them again. And Mike actually uses her screaming for good this time. Good job, girl. She says she didn't want to pull a balloon, and dude, she fucking cracks me up sometimes. Anyways, Lightbulb just fucking electrocutes Fan? Why? Paintbrush gets pissed and yells at Fan to throw the ball. Knife gives Balloon a chance to prove himself by giving him the last shot they need to win the challenge. Mike keeps fucking with Balloon, and Test Tube is all loopy from losing her green liquid. What is even in her? What is that? Balloon and Test Tube throw the ball at the same time, and Test Tube wins for her team. You fucking hate to see it. Taco congratulates Mike for successfully manipulating the competition and tells her to just let them go at it for now. Knife finds Suitcase by the dock and asks why she puts up with them in the first place, implying her alliance, since they never listened to her. She tries to defend them, saying Nickel listened to her today, and because of that, it costs them the win. Knife says it sounds like a setup and asks did she really think they would give Balloon a chance, or did she just convince herself that they would? He says that they just wanted an excuse to eliminate him, and continues by saying it doesn't make Suitcase look great either. Suitcase, please stand up for your stuff. It's killing me. Don't let these men walk all over you. Stand up. Stand up. He says that her way of being happy is pleasing people she thinks are jerks, and Suitcase says that she's made her choice. Knife says that she should make her presence known and leaves her with that. Elimination time. Oh my god, I am so freaking nervy. They get this cool upgrade on the elimination ground. This bitch looks like fucking Roblox Survivor. He says that all they have to do is tap on the screen who they want to eliminate and calls them out one by one to do so. When I watched this for the first time, my butt was clenched, let me tell you. Rewatching it, they're still clenched. The votes come in and Balloon is eliminated with 5 votes, one of them going to Nickel. Balloon says he can't hold her vote against her since it was her alliance, and Suitcase gets confused. She apologizes to Balloon for being unsure of herself and that she should make her presence more known. Oh my god, what is she doing? Balloon tries to tell her that he's doing her a favor, but she doesn't listen. And it's revealed that Suitcase voted for Nickel? Oh, that's right! Suitcase, stand up! Stand up! Baseball doesn't look surprised, and Nickel can't believe that she voted for him. She explains that she can't forgive the way he's been treating Balloon and says that it's not only about Balloon. Suitcase says that he acts like he's protecting her, but tries to send her away any chance they get. Which, yes, dude, that episode where he wanted her to steal with I didn't add this in, but I can add this in now. He says, you wouldn't, or some shit like, you wouldn't be missed if you were gone or whatever.
Besides, no one would notice if you're gone. Oh, and I mean that in a good way.
We're like, dude, if you like really wanted to protect her, why are you saying all that? Nickel sounds like a manipulative ex and says that Balloon was tearing them apart, and continues by saying he wants them to have what they have before. You cannot make this shit up.
Suitcase? He was tearing us apart. I wanted us to have what we had before.
This baffles Suitcase because she says they don't even really talk. She says that to her, that's not what an alliance is. Baseball comes in and rides on Nickel some more, asking if their conversation on the docks meant nothing to her. Suitcase gets real and says that he could pretend to care about how she feels, but she knows who he really answers to. That is insane. She points out that while he says he disagrees with what Nickel does, he doesn't do anything to stop them or act against them. Mike is so kind of me while watching this episode, because it's fucking, dude, this is crazy. Baseball says that he's doing his best and that Suitcase's accusations aren't helping. Nickel realizes that since he only got one vote, that means Balloon voted for himself. Suitcase says that he decided to be a great friend and put the blame on himself for the one vote for Nickel. She says that a true ally looks like that, and that she won't let him fight her battles. She reaffirms that she voted for Nickel because he was never a true ally. And I hate to say it, but Nickel kind of gets her. He says that the only thing that happened is that she burned the bridge with her allies. And then this shit happens.
As long as I'm here, you're not fooling anyone again.
Actually, funny you bring that up. You see, you know how I said I'd make up for it next time? Well, it's a double elimination. Surprise!
Yay! You're both getting the boot!
What? Nickel, because you were the only other contestant to receive a vote, you're automatically eliminated as well.
So yeah, it was a double elimination. Like, since Suitcase voted for Nickel, both him and Balloon are getting eliminated. That is, oh my god, let's fucking go! The last thing he says before he goes through the portal is, well, you heard her. It's nothing personal. Yeah, buddy, I don't care. Move out of the way. Balloon says thank you to Suitcase, and he leaves. Suitcase is crowing. No, don't crowed. He crowed. I crowed. We crowed. Mike leaves, and Suitcase says that what she had to say meant nothing to Nickel, but she had to stand up for herself. Which is true, because she never knew that there would be a double elimination. Sure, her alliance would have been broken if he didn't get out, but that means that she would have left her toxic alliance with the meat rider and the toxic ex. Fucking whatever, Baseball, whatever. Knife says that this wasn't what he meant by making her presence known. But what did you mean? Whatever, Suitcase was in the right. Hashtag #1 Suitcase defender, leave me alone. She says that she tried to be a good alliance member, and Knife asks what an alliance is to her. We then cut to Marshmallow walking at night again when Meatpad teleports to her. He lets her go and she continues to walk to OJ's hotel. She throws a rock at someone's window and that someone is Apple. Oh my god, who would have guessed? The episode ends and holy shit, do I have something to say about this episode? Maybe it's just because I'm a Suitcase fan, or, you know, maybe it's because I love like angsty shit like this, or, you know, blah, 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 blah. This is a great episode to me. I love that the buildup of Suitcase and her alliance just like fucking crumbles there because of how incompetent the people in it were. It was bound to fail from the start with Nickel being himself and Baseball never actually standing up to him and telling him to back off. Maybe he did it like once and I don't remember, but that doesn't excuse every single other time where he let it slip. Whatever, maybe I'm reading too into it. I also feel like from here, the animation starts to improve so much. Like, the animation is great. Don't get me wrong. But from this episode on, to me, it just feels more like fluid and bouncy. I just had to point that out. It's really awesome. Anyways, post credits, Lightbulb gets a pet crab named Baxter. Yeah, thank you, Lightbulb. Okay, I promise I'm not being a hater. But up until this point, Lightbulb has always been a funny character to me. Like in season 1, she was sassy, which made her so likable, personally. And in the beginning of season 2, she got more lines, which made her even more likable. Again, personally, this episode is the one that sealed Lightbulb's fate from being that sassy character to being the goofy one. Which don't get mad at me for saying this. Like, I literally couldn't care less if you love her. I also do like Lightbulb. I think she's a really fun character. I just miss sassy Lightbulb and not goofy, silly, whatever Lightbulb, silly, goofy, whatever Lightbulb has her moments that are really funny to me, but I miss sassy Lightbulb. Like, where is that Lightbulb? Anyways, Marshmallow is officially out of the competition and the Bright Lights are now left with 4 members. Just kidding! The teams are now being broken up, yes! Meephone lets him be for the time being, and Lightbulb tries to comfort Paintbrush about Marshmallow being gone. Just kidding, she's comforting Paintbrush about Baxter being gone. Oh my god, Lightbulb, you freaking goober. Paintbrush says that they might be better off without teams because they are on totally different wavelengths. Thanks for saying that nicely, Paintbrush. Lightbulb gets really sad, but Paintbrush says that they're still friends, but just they won't be working together. Taco poses very Yuri-ful on a vending machine and talks to Mike about the broken teams. She says that it's a good riddance and continues by saying baseball's alliance was bound to fall apart. That's what I said! Taco gets me! Taco opens Test Tube's secret lab, from like the 3rd episode, I think, and Mike falls in with a taser in her hand. And oh my god, the background for Test Tube's laboratory has to be a top, maybe like top 3 favorite of the instrumental soundtracks. I just absolutely love that Adam incorporated a musical side to the show, and not just with character singing songs. The original soundtracks are amazing, and I love when object shows have original soundtracks like this. The Object Show 1, for example. To this day, I still listen to the soundtrack for that show because it's just left such an impact on me. I miss him every day. Mike panics and asks if the taser is Test Tube's, to which Test Tube says, maybe. She asks Test Tube what she's working on, and before Test Tube spills the beans, even though you can clearly say it's a time machine, she says that Mike has seen enough and calls her a jeebweezer. Taco calls Test Tube a Honyak? Jesus, what the hell are they saying? Taco gets surprised that she has a time machine and tells Mike that she's coming down to the lab. When she comes down, Lightbulb runs out of some room holding some Dr. Fizz. Test Tube gets pissed and Lightbulb says that she drinks when she's depressed. She coughs up Baxter again and starts to use Test Tube's time machine. Test Tube runs to Lightbulb saying it's not ready, but it's too late. A portal opens and the two, and Baxter, are sucked through it. Taco walks to the portal talking about getting another chance, but before she can go through it, the portal closes. Test Tube's time machine works and they're teleported back in time and oh my god, they're in season 1! Mike starts to freak out and Taco assures her that they aren't dead, they're just lost in time. Thanks, Taco. Mike says she saw Taco reach for the portal, but Taco pushes that to the side and says now they have an empty lab to loot. She takes her now iconic bow tie that can make her turn invisible. Ooh, ah. Taco says that Mike's excuse for not knowing where the two are is that she knows zilch. And back with Lightbulb and Test Tube, they've gone back to the first episode of the series. Chris McLean galore. Lightbulb explains the challenge and Test Tube asks why everyone looks lifeless. They look fine, Test Tube. Stop being a Debbie Downer. Lightbulb calls to pass Paintbrush and Test Tube tells her to stop and that she can't interfere with the past. Using something as insignificant as a twig as an example of something so small making an impact on the future. Anyways, Test Tube steps on a twig and she starts to freak out. Lightbulb sees Salt and Paper about to jump. Ooh, what is she gonna do? Meatpat displays the votes for what kind of challenge is up next, and it's a painting contest. Miphone gives them all easels and paint and doesn't give a fuck when Meepad says they're missing a few people again. Mike rushes to the challenge ground and Knife asks if she knows where Lightbulb and the test tube are. Mike says she knows Zilch and fucking joyous Knife starts to laugh. How awesome. Fan starts to freak out at the rate contestants are going missing, and Paintbrush tries to hide the fact that they miss Lightbulb. I mean missing her interruptions. Same thing. Lightbulb pushes Salt and Pepper off of the cliff and they fall into the water. Wait, this didn't happen in season 1. After Test Tube fixed the stick she stepped on, she asks Lightbulb if that was right. And when Lightbulb tells her that she and Balloon were the team captains, Test Tube takes them to the present where everything is really different. The floor is purple, the clouds are square, hills have holes through them, and there's new contestants. Salt and Pepper are now the hosts of Inanimate Insanity Infinity. After a fire-ass intro plays again, the cast of this new show is slowly shown off, and it's implied that they barely get any screen time. Everything is really confusing, and it's hurting my brain. Anyways, Lightbulb is being annoying. She's being annoying, and she slaps the time machine out of Test Tube's hand, almost breaking it. What the hell is wrong with this lady? Test Tube punches her and asks her why she did that, and Lightbulb says she just wanted to help break it down when Test Tube says she was going to have a breakdown. See, the joke is that Pepper says that it's challenge time, and Salt asks their Miphone if he can make them a fashion show, and he does. This is the 10th time they've made this challenge, and none of the contestants are happy with it. Lightbulb tells them not to get so competitive and not to worry because she is here. Fucking All Might head ass. They all take a liking to Lightbulb and Baxter, and Test Tube steps in to set Lightbulb straight. That none of this should even exist, and that none of these contestants should either. Lightbulb says that maybe it's better this way, and when Test Tube gets on her, the other contestants whisk Lightbulb away. And I forgot about this song, Hole Mole. It's an alright song. I don't know what else to say about it. It's about how Lightbulb loves this new world because everyone is similar to her. Lightbulb is venting in general to her new buddies, and she starts to realize that they are just copies of her. When she brings up how Test Tube is upset with her, the new contestant says she's too emotional, and says, "You know what happens to those ones." Okay, what the flip? Test Tube is trying to fix the time machine when Salt and Pepper walk up to her and say that there's been a lot of contestants, because once there's boring ones, they have Miphone bring in new ones. Salt says that they're all the same, except Test Tube. They further explain that the people that come through here are either crazy like the competitors, or normal like them. And Test Tube isn't either of those. She's a nerd, that's why. They don't like the tone Test Tube is taking with them, so they have their butler tie her up. Oh, yeah, they have a butler named Chives. He doesn't really do much, so I haven't brought him up until now. Hi, Chives. Elimination time happens and holy shit, why is Test Tube cracked up? What happened? Hello? Test Tube is being eliminated because she's ugly. That's insane. Test Tube has the choice between two portals. One leading to the Dark Abyss and the other that lets her come back and try again. Whatever that means. Lightbulb goes to defend Test Tube and says that torture is where she crosses the line. The contestants don't take her seriously because Lightbulb is saying things like serious o'clock and logic this chaos. Test Tube gets mad and says that she should have used quirks like Lightbulb has to get out of the situation. Like my hero. Like My Hero Academia quirks. When Lightbulb asks what she means, she proves her point by saying random shit. I don't know, this is like Tumblr quirkiness, I can't take her anywhere type shit. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, it's just, it gets too much sometimes. Test Tube says that she actually has to try, and Lightbulb then tells her that she tries. Which, oh man, cannot catch a break with these 2 episodes, man. Some sad shit is always happening. As Salt and Pepper try to get them to hurry up talking, Lightbulb apologizes and says that Salt's fashion show is way more important, to which Pepper says that it's their fashion show. Lightbulb then proceeds to say that Salt does more than Pepper, and she just sits back there and is just, kind of there. Pepper says that they both pull the weight. Test Tube sees what Lightbulb is doing and joins in, saying that Salt is the leader and calls Pepper a parasite. Ooh. Salt agrees and says that she's the host and Pepper just latches on. Ooh, snap. First I lolled, then I serioused. Pepper hits Salt and then a hashtag girl fight happens. Just kidding. Pepper fucks Salt up and kills her by punching her so hard she falls through the dark abyss portal. Toxic Yuri, I guess? Pepper tries to save the situation by saying that she tried to save her, but she had to go. The contestants start laughing and cheering, and that's when Lightbulb and Test Tube realize they have to leave. Lightbulb takes them back to season 1, where they were last time. Test Tube understands that there might be more to Lightbulb and a method to her madness, and Lightbulb says she's better to just latch on like Pepper. Test Tube says that she was wrong about how Lightbulb stumbles into situations and solutions, and says that logic needs chaos. Aw, sweet. Lightbulb comes up with an idea to get things back to how they were. She tells Test Tube, and they start the plan. Test Tube puts her green liquid on Baxter so he glows green. Lightbulb throws them into water with salt and pepper, and Test Tube lies about it being a venomous crab, saying it's highly radioactive. Lightbulb has Miphone redo their jumps because think of the lawsuits, and he does. Everything goes right and the two return to their time. Meanwhile, Paintbrush is still having a hard time thinking of what to paint. Fan painted a cute little drawing of his kid, Baseball drew darkness. Okay, buddy. Paintbrush then figures out what to paint. Oh man, I can't wait to see it. Suitcase asks what Mike is painting, and this looks familiar. Oh wait, editor Rars here. Audio fucked up here, so this is why I'm talking, just to fill the space. Okay, bye. Mike asks why Suitcase is talking to her, and Suitcase just leaves. Knife asks Mike why she was late to the challenge today, and he says that he tends to notice these things when she says that she had other plans. Test Tube and Lightbulb come back with 10 seconds left on the clock, so they both quickly draw something. Except Lightbulb, she just had that. Time's up, and we get to see Suitcase's painting first, which is her in the last episode with these black tentacle seaweed things surrounding her in the water. You know, this really encapsulates Suitcase's mentality at the moment. Miphone rates her a 6. And the next step is Paintbrush. They drew Steve Cobbs, which... Oh. As they explain why they painted him, Miphone rates it a 0. Miphone gives no explanation on why he rated it a 0. So peculiar. And that not everything needs an explanation. Paintbrush gets visibly upset and everyone steps back as they explode with anger. Literally, like, they light this bitch up. Since Suitcase was the only one that was rated, he gives her immunity. And then he adds this to say...
So I'll give her immunity, even though she doesn't deserve it. Judge her accordingly.
Great.
Why is everyone so fucking mad at her? It isn't her fault that she went to go first to get scored. She didn't know that this would happen. So, like, why is everyone mad at her? I don't understand why everyone hates Suitcase. I cannot comprehend this. What the fuck? Why is this like a hate Suitcase brigade? Mike runs off again, but Knife catches her. Then she just runs off again. Test Tube and Fan are sitting atop of the vending machine while they discuss time travel. Test Tube explains that it's too dangerous to try again. Baseball bitches and whines, and we cut to Mike and Taco, and oh man, here we go. They talk about how Knife is potentially onto them, but Taco says there's nothing to worry about, and that he was just a simple bully. He's right behind me, isn't he? He just says, huh, and then fucks off. Bye, Knife? Bye? Taco tells Mike that she has a plan. More on that next step. Ooh. We see Paintbrush in the calm down corner when Lightbulb pays them a visit. They complete each other's sweet rhymes, and Paintbrush apologizes that they said they shouldn't work together. Lightbulb asks why they said that, and they explain that they're used to doing things their own way. Lightbulb is about to call Paintbrush a girl again, and then stumbles and says guy. She then figures out that Paintbrush is C, none of the above. If you don't understand what just happened or forgot because I've been leaving it out on purpose, there's been a running joke since season 1 that no one knows what Paintbrush's gender is. So a character will say something like, wow, Paintbrush is a cool guy. And in response, another will go, wait, Paintbrush is a guy? I thought she was a girl. I like how they explained it. It was just a very smooth way to go about explaining non-binary people to a mainly kid and tween audience. They don't try to overcomplicate it. They just make it as simple as it actually is, saying their gender is C, none of the above, and they continue to use they/them pronouns for Paintbrush. Paintbrush says that's why they don't bring it up. They don't think the others know that there is a C option. Lightbulb tries to make the situation lighter by talking about how without C, Baxter is just a rab, and honestly it's just a really sweet moment. Like, I really do love Lightbulb and Paintbrush together. I think they bounce off each other so well. Anyways, back to hell. Elimination time. Ooh, I wonder who's getting eliminated. It looks to be a really close one since Knife, Paintbrush, Baseball, and Mike all have one vote, like each. I wonder if it's Paintbrush. Paintbrush is voted out. Apparently Mike didn't vote for Knife, so who the fuck did? Taco says that thank God they didn't because Knife would be spilling them to everyone if they did. As Paintbrush walks through the portal, Lightbulb stops them and gives them Baxter. Their old teammates say goodbye and Paintbrush is gone. Man, this sucks, man. Lightbulb is sad now. Fan is recording like a recap thing? I don't know, he's going crazy. While he talks about what's been happening over the past few episodes, Testtube and Lightbulb are seen walking into a mysterious cave, and Testtube is using some device to scan. I don't know what to scan for, but she's scanning. She finds a crystal thing with high energy, and when she touches it, a loud sound plays, and she gets a vision of the meeple icon. Then Steve Cobbs. It starts as a point of view of when Steve first made MePhone. As in the flashback, he introduces himself and says that he is MePhone 4. It switches back to normal and we see a baby MePhone. Aww. Not really baby though, he's just like, he just got turned on or something, you know what I mean. While Steve is explaining to MePhone his tasks, MePhone interrupts him to ask if he has any snacks. He tells MePhone that he doesn't need any food and carries on by saying that he's meant to protect MePhone and puts a screen protector on him. Toilet and Meatpad arrive at the cave, Toilet talking about how Master Adam should help. Meatpad replies who, which makes me think. So, we remember Adam, right? He was in season 1. He's framed as MePhone's boss. So how does Meatpad not know Adam, even though Adam has been referenced in the first couple episodes of Inanimate Insanity season 2, which Meatpad has been in? And that's also his boss's boss. Just very strange. Anyways, Lightbulb is trying to get Testtube into consciousness by having her look at how many fingers she has up.
How many? Wait, what? Where? Who did this?
She notices the co-hosts and tells them what happened. Meatpad takes the gem with him and comes back shortly after he leaves, and then congratulates Testtube on getting immunity. They all get confused, and Meatpad explains that the gem Testtube found are gems MePhone needs. Anyway, she keeps repeating the word corn, and they teleport away, leaving Lightbulb and Testtube in shock. Finn is typing away on his laptop, and Knife is an asshole and closes it while he's typing, man. What the hell? He then motions to the sunset. Fan gets irritated and says that he actually has been paying attention and points to the egg, which has a tiny crack in it. Baseball gives his 2 cents.
We all get dropped sooner or later.
Real G-Weezer, this one.
Thanks, buddy. And loud as drums are heard from Toilet. Taco reminds Mike of their plan to get Knife in their favor as she goes off to Toilet and the others. Meatpad explains that the challenge is cave mining in the cave we saw Lightbulb and Testtube earlier. Their goal is to find the gem that Testtube found earlier when she was in the cave, and that a simple touch of the gem is all it takes to win immunity. Since there are 6 gems and 7 players, the player to not get a gem will be automatically eliminated. Fan questions the co-hosts and where MePhone is, but Toilet doesn't give a fuck and says they have perfect contestant attendance. Yay! Testtube tells Fan that she saw something like a vision, that it felt real. Suitcase interrupts and asks that she sees the visions as well. Suitcase, I don't think she has the same visions as you, okay? She had a vision by touching a gem and you are mentally ill. When Testtube elaborates on what she saw, Suitcase backpedals and says she didn't expect anyone else to understand. Mike tries to pander to Knife, but he fucks off, and Fan asks Suitcase if she wants to talk about what she's been seeing. Oh, no way? What is this, a crossover episode with my 2 favorite characters? Fan gets jelly of Testtube talking to Lightbulb more than him, so he decides that he and Suitcase should talk more, and she agrees. They walk into the cave together, and Testtube looks uncertain when they enter the cave. Knife is secretly snuck up on by Mike and Taco until Mike sneezes and blows their cover. They start to argue and Knife throws Taco. I see we are continuing hating women, Knife. Mike nervously asks Knife to join them, then Taco and Knife get into an argument. Mike sees a gem next to Knife and pushes him onto it. Next, Knife gets a vision. The vision is of MePhone watching TV and eating some cookies. It seems he's watching like a Survivor / Total Drama Island type show. Steve walks in and calls the show that he's watching trash. Listen, Mr. Cobbs, trash TV is freaking awesome, dude. You just don't get it. You don't get it like we do. Steve asks Mifone if he had finished his daily tasks, and Mifone says that he did, and invites him to sit down with him. Steve declines and says that he has more work to do. Knife is the next one with immunity, and when Mike and Taco try to persuade him to join, he keeps repeating the word trash. Fan is recording him and Suitcase mining and tells Suitcase to narrate. He then basically takes over by saying that they're trying to solve the mystery of their missing hosts. Suitcase says that she's more interested in another mystery and turns the camera to Fan. Fan explains that the videos aren't necessarily about him, and she says they can be about him. Your Honor, they are best friends. Lightbulb is digging around and falls down a hole leading straight to Suitcase and Fan. She comes up from the rubble with a gem in her hand and then gets a vision. This time, the vision is of Mifone and Steve in a glass dome or whatever. He's testing Mifone on different kinds of objects he can make. Mifone messes up by making a blue tree, but Steve congratulates him anyways, saying that he expects a spaceship by the end of the day. Lightbulb snaps out of it, and just as she's about to eat the gem, Meatpad and Toilet come in to take the gem and give her immunity. Test Tube runs into Baseball Mining and asks if he needs any help. Well, she says, need a hand, which she apologizes for immediately. I love her so much, she's so awesome. Anyways, Baseball doesn't get mad, and Test Tube busts out her tranquilizing tracking dart blaster thingy. Please don't point that at me. Mike still tries to talk to Taco about what happened in the lab, but again, Taco ignores her. Taco finds a gem and mines it out, but it falls on her face instead. Mike doesn't get the chance to touch it, but is awarded with immunity anyways. Suitcase has the camera on Fan now, and when Fan asks what's up with her, she talks about that she thought Test Tube had the same visions as her, and asks if he can relate. Fan says that when he's asked about him, like personally, he doesn't know how to put it into words. Suitcase says that it's okay that he doesn't know how to put it into words, and that the words are there, he just needs to make them, and says we all want to hear about them, which I do want to hear about him too. The egg cracks some more, and we cut to Knife sleeping in a minecart. Okay, buddy. Mike and Taco won't hop off and keep following him and asking him to join them. Test Tube is helping Baseball find a gem by using her dart gun, and Baseball starts to actually think and says that if he had said something to her on the dock or in the maze, that things could have changed. Test Tube explains that that wouldn't have fixed anything, and when he asks why, she says that unpredictable things can just happen, but you can learn from those things and learn not to repeat what led up to it. They find another gem and Baseball touches it. He gets a vision of Steve analyzing Mifone for his stats. His performance isn't optimal and he has some bugs. Mifone comes into his office all happy with a boat in his hand, and Steve just yells at him not to sneak up on him like that. Like, I had to pause the video after he screamed because, like, what is this guy's problem? Mifone's just, like, happy to show him the little boat he made. Jesus. Steve tells him to keep improving, and the vision ends. Baseball is next to get immunity, so there's one slot left. Taco apologizes to Mike about being so closed off and says that she could be more open. Mike awes at this, and Knife is like, what the fuck, dude? She just tried to kill me, don't say aw. Knife asks Mike if Taco ever brought up her first alliance, and Taco tries to shut Knife up. He keeps talking about how she dropped Pickle, and that she should watch out if she doesn't want Taco to drop her too. Mike says that she's changing, and that if he's not going to join them, then just don't say anything. Knife says that when Trophy blackmailed him, he felt ashamed, and he doesn't want to put Mike through that, so he won't say anything, but clarifies that this is just a favor and not an alliance. He says to watch herself since Fan and Test Tube are analyzing everyone. Taco asks who's left in competition and cuts to Suitcase and Fan Case. Don't mind me, this is just here because the audio messed up here. Just forget I'm here. Suitcase is reading from Fan's phone and is reading off Fan's disorganized thoughts. He wrote all this down. I'm not trying to read all that. Anyways, Test Tube walks in and ruins their moment and asks if they've just been sitting around the whole time. Fan says that they were investigating by blogging. Okay. Fan gets mad at Test Tube for saying we and kills Lightbulb with his shovel. What the hell? It's on accident, but still. Test Tube gets mad at that and takes Fan away from Suitcase to go get a gem. Suitcase hallucinates in the cave once they both leave, and an invisible Taco comes up to her and guides her to Baseball. As Suitcase is leaving, Baseball tells her not to let him hold her back, which I'm sure you weren't, Baseball, but okay. Mike then turns invisible and leads Suitcase to the last gem. Test Tube tries to shoot Suitcase to stop her from getting immunity, but it hits Mike instead? Suitcase's vision is of Mifone finding a room with boxes and broken tech in it. At the end of the hallway is a broken Mifone slumped against the wall. And then Adam? Adam is a fucking robot? What? What? Miphone's boss in season 1. A robot. Anyways, Miphone finds a broken phone and he touches it. It starts to play a voice recording of someone saying that they broke through the shell. Very interesting. The phone turns off, and when Miphone asks if he's on, the phone replies with "Cobbs don't." Miphone gets confused, and the other phone repeats it again and again and again until Miphone leaves. Suitcase comes back from her vision and is granted immunity. All 6 gems are found, and Fan is to be eliminated. No, no. Meepad and Toilet teleport back to Miphone, who is on the floor with a software error screen. He's slumped against Paintbrush's painting of Steve. Fucking insane work, Animation Epic. The co-hosts give Miphone the gems and he wakes up. Toilet mentions Adam and Miphone has a flashback on Steve working on Adam and locking him in the closet he found him in. Miphone gets mad at Toilet and tells him to leave. He concludes that since Adam hired him, he must be connected to Cobbs and doesn't fuck with Toilet anymore. I mean, he never did, but it's like cut off connection now. Toilet is totally clueless on what's happening, and he says he hasn't talked to Adam in ages. Meepad tries to get Miphone to stop, but after telling Toilet to leave again, he leaves. Test Tube and Fan get a divorce because Fan is getting eliminated. Test Tube says that the egg is in better care with her because she knows what it needs to survive. They keep arguing. Miphone and Meepad come back. Meepad tells Miphone that Fan was eliminated and immediately snaps the elimination portal up. Fan tries to reason with Miphone, but he won't budge. Fan projects onto the egg, saying that he doesn't think the egg should hatch and should just stay in his shell. Test Tube says I'm sorry, and Miphone pushes Fan through the portal before he could say goodbye. Fan then has a narration over Miphone and Meepad in the cave. Fan says you have to trust someone even if you don't agree. Miphone digs up a bigger gem in the ground of the cave and has Meepad touch it. The vision Meepad gets is of Miphone escaping from Meeple headquarters and shows him taking Meepad with him. He then removed all of the memory gems on purpose and hid them in the cave. It opens with a nightmare Fan has of the egg being with Test Tube while it cracks. He wakes up to Baxter on his bed and tells his troubles to the crab. He says that she took the egg because she obviously doesn't trust Fan. Baxter walks out the door and Fan takes that as Baxter telling him to just go back on the show. Mike wakes up and Taco has an indent on her face from the gem hitting her eye. Mike jokes about Taco dropping her and they come across Meepad and Miphone. Miphone says that once he saw Paintbrush's painting of Steve, he felt like he was back at MeCloud. Meepad tries to make him feel better by saying that this is his show, but Miphone says that it isn't his show, since him and Toilet were hired by Adam. Miphone says that he's always been controlling him, and Meepad says if Steve was always controlling him, why did he let him save Meepad? A sound wave happens and it makes Miphone spawn a bunch of random items. They teleport to the contestant grounds and find that the egg was the one who caused the noise. Test Tube gets a drink from the vending machine and Baseball thinks she's thirsty, angry, whatever. While Test Tube gets her drink, Fan is seen snatching up the egg. Oh my god, he came here fast. The egg emits a noise again, and Miphone spawns random things again, including bringing Lightbulb back to life. Hey girl. Fan stops the noise by holding the egg when a fucking beam grabs him into a big-ass egg ship? What the huh? Miphone thinks that Steve is here for him, and when the ship fires at Miphone, he's sure it's him. Miphone tries to fend off the ship and makes the challenge to save Fan, and then he and Meepad teleport away. Test Tube sees that the ship is about to take off, but pairs a taser with like a telescope or something, and then fires at the ship and it makes it immobile. Baseball makes a joke asking if anyone has a big ladder, and no one laughs. Lightbulb fucks up the saying and Mike wants to make out with Test Tube. Just kidding, she wants to go to her secret lab and figure a way to get Fan back.
What?
Your secret lab. I meant your secret lab.
Test Tube snaps her fingers and holy shit, I don't know how, but everyone thought that this sounded like the start of a tango song, or that she was gonna start singing. Like, so many people thought that this was like gonna happen. So Animation Epic team just decided to make it into an actual song, and it's so good. I think that this is the best instrumental in the whole soundtrack. Like, if you think otherwise, you're just objectively wrong. Anyways, Test Tube gets salty that everyone now knows about her secret lab. She crashes out and then starts to rip the vending machine apart. Just fucking calm down, dude. Back at the egg ship, Fan thinks that Cobbs is behind this like everyone else does. The egg cracks more and Fan starts to freak out. The contestants start to build a ship, and Test Tube is still mad at Mike for lying and stealing. Fucking whatever, nerd. Taco talks about the potential of Meepad's teleportation, and she asks Mike to do some shopping for her. She elaborates by saying to buy her some time. Fucking just say that then. Suitcase starts to hallucinate cracks on the floor when Test Tube snaps her out of it. She gives Suitcase some sass, and when Suitcase asks if she thinks that she doesn't care about this, Test Tube says that she's the reason Fan was eliminated. Suitcase brings up that Fan got eliminated from his favorite show, and that what hurt him more was Test Tube. Meephone tells Meepad that he should join Meephone in what he's about to do. He tells Meepad that he's going to forget Cobbs, the show, and remove whatever's in their systems. Meepad brings up that this might be what he wants, them to forget and comply. He says that the contestants in Toilet have always had his back, and that he can't just abandon them like that. Meephone interrupts Meepad by asking why he let Marshmallow leave, and tells him not to talk to him about trust when he didn't tell Meephone what was happening with Marshmallow. Meepad then asks what he's doing here, and then teleports away. Suitcase is spacing out while sitting on the docks when Baseball comes up to her and asks if she's okay. She says that she thought that standing up for herself would make her feel better, and it does, but it's harder for her now. Baseball says that not to take Test Tube's anger personal, in which Suitcase says nothing's personal, right? Which is so funny to me, because I think he just got over Nickel being eliminated, and she's bringing up, like, one of the things they were saying to each other. Fucking what an icon. Baseball wants to fix it, and Suitcase says you can't just do that, and it doesn't just go away. But him listening and being there for her, actually trying, is enough. Meepad teleports to where Taco is unknowingly, and we cut to Knife and Mike. Oh man. He tells Mike to stop working with Taco and to have some dignity. Funny literal wordplay happens in the background with Taco and Mike. It's fucking cool.
Look, Taco and I are equals. I have a voice here. No one's shutting me down. I'm not just being dragged along.
Test Tube is bitching about Suitcase to Lightbulb, and Lightbulb wrecks a part of Test Tube's fucking ship thingy. Lightbulb uses the damaged part as a metaphor for the damage Test Tube has done, in a way that she's done it. And then Lightbulb quotes Sonic.
That's no good.
Back with Fan, the speaker box scans Fan and doesn't consider him a threat. It tells Fan to put the egg down and to walk away. Fan doesn't comply, and the egg cracks once more. It then flies into the air, and then it's an alien egg thing? It's cute though, but it's confusing. Some bigger versions of the egg come out and cuff Fan. Anyways, they finish the ship, which only has room for one pilot, and Test Tube goes to save Fan. Suitcase compliments Test Tube on the ship and asks Test Tube if she knows what she's going to do when she gets to the ship. Test Tube says that she'll get him back. She takes off and doesn't get far at first, but the rest of the contestants help Test Tube make it to the ship. Knife steps up and says that in case Test Tube fails, they need a plan. Baseball says that she wouldn't do... I don't know what he says, because Knife cuts him off by saying, turn on her best friend. Knife says that she threw him away like trash and says that her anger has been unleashed. Fucking Sonic Unleashed. Baseball says that he would know and brings up the point that why should he believe that Knife won't turn on him too. Knife says to worry about numbers, then trust, which must happen if there's one winner. Suitcase sides with Knife and says that if she was really their friend, she would understand that it was part of the game. Okay, Suitcase. Mike fucks off somewhere and meets Taco, and of course she's drinking tea. Anyways, she reveals that she kidnapped Meepad and shut him off. The reason? They need to teleport. Mike asks if this is to save Fan, and Taco quickly agrees. Something tells me that this isn't to save Fan. Anyways, Mike says that they get Fan in and out and nothing more. Fan is met with the collective ethereal light, known as the Prime Shimmer. I'm just going to call them the Egg Aliens. The Egg Aliens ask what Fan is and how he found the egg baby. Fan says he found it on Mars and just took it. The Big King Egg explains that the baby was stolen from them. He asks Fan that beyond the reality show, who he really is. Fan doesn't have an answer for that question, but no worries because Test Tube comes in and crashes into their ship. Hey, Test Tube. They have an awkward reuniting, and the eggs freak out when they see that Test Tube brought Fan's phone, which has a meeple icon. They get scared of the meeple symbol on the phone, and when asked about it, they explain that meephones invaded their land and questioned them. They offer tech and trade for information, but the more they learn, the more they harm the aliens. The eggs refuse to work with them anymore, and when they did, the meephones broke the shell. That's what the phone was screaming in the closet, and that they took the unhatched youth. They got all of the babies but 2 back until they found the one Fan had. The king asks if they know where the other lost one is, and they don't know. Test Tube says that the egg never belonged to anyone, and Fan says that he felt like his. Fan makes the hard decision to say hello/goodbye to the egg. He says that even without the shell holding it together, they'll always watch out for each other. The egg then gets like homophobic eyes of Fan and Tube. Oh, so cute. And the king says that they didn't have to learn that lesson by stealing their kid, but whatevs, water under the bridge. And Test Tube fucking explodes? Oh my god, and it's Taco! It's Taco after she promised Mike they wouldn't hurt anyone. Okay, and then she shoots Fan right after. Mike steps in front of Taco, and when she's about to fire again, Taco tells Mike to steal Fan back. Miphone comes back when the ship leaves and gets a notification to recover Test Tube. When Test Tube questions where Fan is, Mike comes back with Fan in her hands and everyone congratulates her on getting him back.
See, this is why you listen to me, Mike. Delectable, isn't it? Finally, a taste of recognition. Finally, I can finally...
Is that what you said to Pickle? Make him think he was doing what he wanted? Like he was heard? I thought I gained a friend. Turns out, I gained nothing.
Surely it couldn't have been nothing.
Taco is stronger than me because I would kill myself. They all take credit for driving Cobbs away. Yeah, it was Cobbs. Test Tube interrupts and says it wasn't Cobbs, aliens are real, and Mike didn't do anything and just killed her. Miphone only takes away that there were no Cobbs. Mike wins immunity and the elimination time happens. Miphone has a fax machine read out the votes, but JK, there's no ink. Mike steps up and says that she's been listening to the voice in her head this whole time and how it would tell her what to do. Mike decides to leave the show on her own accord and no influence from Taco, the voice in her head. Miphone still goes through with the original elimination and reads the votes. The one who gets eliminated is Test Tube. Knife shows Mike off and she leaves the competition. Test Tube gives Fan a new phone and apologizes to him. They both leave through the portal and now Lightbulb is alone. Aw, poor Lightbulb. Post-credits happen and Toilet is seen walking along a shore, he sees like a ship. It's actually the ship that Miphone crashed while escaping Cobbs. Something makes a noise inside of it and it looks like a Miphone. A big red X shines on the Toilet as it gets closer and we have no idea what happened to Toilet. And then they leave on a cliffhanger for 4 years. I don't know why it took so long. I searched it up and apparently no one really knows. Or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough, but it's midnight and I'm tired and I just want to finish this. But my personal theory is that they didn't know how season 2 would end, so they took a break and announced season 3 as content, meanwhile storyboarding and writing the end for season 2. This makes the most sense to me as the finale is going to be movie length. Again, as I was making the script, they announced that part 1 of the movie will be coming out this Saturday. I thought I had more time to make this, but that's fine, I guess. I'm really excited for the finale to come out. Anyways, let's just get into the last episode, fucking episode 15, the big one. It opens with Taco telling Meepad that he isn't able to teleport on his own anymore. Taco asks him if he knows who she is, and Meepad says that he's always wanted to meet her, and asks her what she wants. Taco says that she wants details and what the next challenge will be. Meepad says that if she's planning to steal the $1 million, it won't be like last time. Taco doesn't care about the money anymore though, and Meepad says that she could have accessed the file without bringing him back to consciousness. Taco says that she thinks better when she has someone to talk to, and Meepad hopes that she wasn't alone the whole time. Don't worry, Meepad, she had her girlfriend, her ex-girlfriend with her the whole time. Meepad shows Taco the file of the next challenge and she rubs her evil little hands together. Ooh, what is she gonna do? The rest of what's left of the Grand Slams ask Lightbulb if she wants to talk about the last vote, and when asked why Knife's going up to her, Knife says that it's a random act of kindness and that Suitcase taught him that. Aw, so cute. Suitcase says that they're there for her and Lightbulb agrees to talk. Lightbulb comes in hot with asking why Baseball voted out Test Tube. Baseball says that it was nothing personal, but to look on the bright side of things. Now all Lightbulb can do is win for her team. Just fucking thanks for that advice, Baseball. You always know how to bring up a mood. Knife cuts Lightbulb off and says that it's good that they cleared up the last bits of drama. When Suitcase brings up a great point saying that are they just going to forget about the aliens Test Tube told them about? or why Mike just quit at random, or the gems they collected that had Mifyon's past in them. Knife doesn't give a fuck and says that he doesn't know what they could do about it, which is why it can't distract them. Suke says that they can't just act like it never happened and they never saw any of it. When Lightbulb pulls out Mike's invisibility bow tie, she instantly stops. Lightbulb puts it on Suitcase, which turns her invisible. Suitcase starts to freak out, and then Knife takes the bow off for her, smashing it. Mifyong greets the final four and says that he took a vacation. They get confused, and Baseball says they just saw him the night before. And never mind, Mifyong says the half a day he was away from them felt peaceful. So maybe season 3 hasn't happened yet in the show timeline? I have no idea. Anyways, Mifyong says that today's challenge is to walk through the forest and meet him on the other side. He adds that they should probably collect sticks on the way, and Lightbulb asks the real questions.
Do we get extra points for eating the sticks?
No, you need the sticks.
He explains that using the sticks they collect, they have to build a bonfire that'll burn hot and high enough to burn the rope above it. The first one to do it wins immunity and guaranteed into the finals, and the last will be immediately eliminated. Baseball asks what'll happen to second and third place, and Mifyong says that they'll duke it out after. Mifyong sends them off, and I shit you not, the best song in all of Inanimate Insanity plays. When I first watched this, my friend who doesn't know shit about the show was with me, and I think I startled her. I hope I didn't, maybe I didn't, but I know I was letting out sounds because I just was in shock that Taco had a song. Taco's tirade has been in my ears on loop ever since this god-forsaken song came out, and for good reason. Ben Cross, who has been composing the musical song so far, just really outdid himself with this one. I mean, holy shit. The instrumental is just so beautiful. At first, I tried not to like it because Taco was singing it, and I don't really like Taco that much. But then I came around to it and became obsessed with the song. Then I started to think I liked Taco, but no, that was just the song talking. So now, because of Taco's tirade, I'm very neutral with Taco. Thank you, guys. Anyways, the song is about how Taco regrets acting the way she did in the finale of season 1, and now instead of wanting to steal the million like she originally planned, she doesn't want any of the contestants to go down the path that she did. She wants to break the players away from the game because she thinks that they can't comprehend how inhumane the game has become, and they're too afraid to come to terms with it. So she plans to unmask the game's true intentions.
History is rearranged just to credit those who win the glory. So reality is changed in the edit when they spin the story, and we choose to feel this pain, and we lose more than we gain. But I will break this cycle of mistakes, unlike all of these snakes whom I call to condemn. If I can't win the prize, I'll play this last reprisal just to bring their lies all to an end.
There's more to this song that I just love, like Taco's high note, like shit, dude, she can fucking sing. The lyrics are just amazing. Just please listen to it on your own if you haven't already. It's such a great song. After that masterpiece finishes playing, Mifyong explains that the rope is so high up because he wants them to answer questions he has for them. Each question they answer truthfully will raise their platforms. Each time they don't answer truthfully, it'll go down. If they step off the platform, they automatically lose. Taco interrupts with her British slow clap and asks if she can run the challenge. She reveals Meepad is with her as an indicative to let her host the challenge. Mifyong asks why Meepad is doing this, and Meepad says that this is what she needs. Mifyong lets her host the challenge, and Knife says to not let this distract them. And Taco reveals that they actually did meet just when Taco was invisible in the caves. Baseball questions what Taco means, and Suitcase ignores him. She asks Taco why she helped her, and Taco says that it was to her benefit, and then starts to ask questions to the contestants. She starts to question Suitcase first and asks if she was motivated to befriend Balloon out of spite due to her alliance not liking him. Suitcase says that she never did it to upset her alliance. She just wanted to help someone who she thought deserved to have another chance. Which is true. Taco asks Lightbulb next if she believes that she deserves to have gotten this far despite her friends being eliminated before her. Lightbulb answers yes, and she thinks that it's important for her friends. Taco follows up by saying if she thinks she can win this with no one to lean on. Lightbulb says yes, even though it'll be hard, but she believes in herself. And she just gets it wrong and goes back down after having a truth. Like, oh my god. Fucking brutal questions Taco's asking. Baseball's up next, and Taco asks if he believes, as the team captain, he truly put the team ahead of himself. Baseball says it has to be true, which just isn't correct, and he's moved down. Taco then asks Knife if he takes the rules of this game seriously, and answers more seriously than her. Taco then asks if he agrees that if anyone who knowingly cheats should be disqualified, and Knife finds a loophole around Taco, and she is pissed off, so he ends up answering correct, like truthful. She goes back to Suitcase and asks when Baseball voted Test Tube out, he said nothing personal, which is what Suitcase said to Nickel and how she saw their relationship. She asks if it's a fair comparison Baseball drew from her and Nickel versus him and Test Tube. Suitcase explains to Baseball that she voted Nickel out as a way to stand up for herself. He wasn't her friend and Baseball just resented her for it anyways, then chose to vote a friend out and played it off as a sacrifice, and says that it's not the same as when she did it. But did she lie? Taco asks Baseball if he forgives Suitcase for voting Nickel out. Fucking loaded ass question for this guy. And finally something Baseball says I agree with. He says it's not her fault and that she didn't know it would be a surprise double elimination. He was upset, but now he realizes that she was just a victim of circumstance, and he does forgive her. Taco asks the whole group a question now, to raise their hands or feet if they want to get back to the fun and games, and then asks if they want to get back to more serious things. Taco brings up great points, what Suitcase was saying earlier, that they encountered aliens and they moved on like nothing happened. She explains that they looked like eggs who didn't have great things to say about Meeple Company. Lightbulb makes a joke, and when Taco apologizes for her humor like Lightbulb's in Season 1, Lightbulb says that she just wanted to brighten the mood. Lightbulb says that Taco must be stressed while continuously clicking her pen, and when Taco asks why she keeps clicking the pen, Lightbulb gets her platform moved down when she answers no reason. She then admits that she's scared and she needs help. She goes back to serious questioning and asks Knife if he knew of her presence in the game before today. He finds another loophole to get out of answering truthfully, and when she clarifies, Taco says that if he doesn't answer, she'll tell them. Knife caves and admits that he did know Taco was in the game. Knife says that it wasn't in any faith to Taco, and how it was only to protect someone else. Taco makes a joke about how he's the protector now, but would roast Marshmallow alive back in Season 1. He says that she would always come back, and Lightbulb comes in with the heat, saying that it doesn't make it okay. Knife asks Lightbulb if she still feels the pain from all the times she shattered, and says it means nothing. This fucking guy. Baseball gets on Knife's ass. Let's go, Baseball. And Knife says that Nickel used to find it hilarious. Taco cuts Knife off and says that he might hide behind being witty, but he's really just a scary guy who will talk and whoever's listening to him will agree with him. He says that Taco's projecting, and that's not how anyone else views him. She then asks if anyone trusts him right now, and no one raises a goddamn hand. Fucking personally, you guys already know what I would do. Taco moves on to Suitcase and asks what she thought was happening when she saw a floating bow tie in the cave. Suitcase explains that she could accept it because she hallucinates all the time, and says it's not easy to explain, but she thinks they happen when she's anxious. Baseball shows genuine concern along with the other contestants at this confession. Suitcase better win and go to therapy. Lightbulb asks Taco if she knew Suitcase would say that, and Taco answers no. She says that this shows how serious this has become, and asks if they understand what the game has been doing to them. She says that nothing could be worth this. Taco continues saying that she was working from the shadows at first to get a chance to steal the money, but then she realized that the want for cash made her go to the extreme, and urges them to leave the game now before they end up like her. Miphone interrupts and says that no one is quitting the show. Taco asks him what he did on his vacation, and he answers that he wanted something new, but this game didn't leave his mind. Taco says that Mike had the right idea in leaving the game and tells them to leave. She says that they'd rather be mentally tortured and that there's no winning in this game for anyone. As she says this though, Suitcase's rope snaps and she wins. Taco gets angry and says that they can win these challenges, but at what cost? She starts to project a bit and says that this is what they were taught to do by Miphone. Mifune says that he made the rules, Taco just broke them. Taco combats this by saying the rules he made were always in his favor and would always have challenges to clean up his messes, surprise double eliminations, and she asks if they see the situation they are in with Mifune. She says that with him around, there is no truth and that this is their last warning to leave the contest before he changes them too. They hear rustling from the bushes, and when Taco asks if they were expecting anyone else, Lightbulb says that the pen she's been clicking is actually sending out a signal. She said that test tube made this for her in case of an emergency, but anyone nearby could have answered it. Her platform goes up, and Taco starts to crack. Knife asks if she's afraid that one of her old friends will come back, and asks why she doesn't face her truths. Then Taco just fucking shatters? Oh my god, what the hell? Like, everyone is in shock except for Knife. Fucking asshole. Love him though. Mifune gets the notification to revive Taco and slides it away. Meatpad gets mad and the rest of the challenge continues like normal. The rest of the contestants try to raise their flame. And then Paintbrush comes out of nowhere. What the hell? Hey, where you been? Also, if you watched the episode and heard a different voice actor for Paintbrush and don't know why, it's because the original voice actor was replaced. Which a couple characters got replaced then because he voiced a few. I won't go into the specifics, but to sum it up, the original voice actor was fired due to him defending another crew member's apology for being racist during the BFDI/Inanimate Insanity 2022 convention. 2 other crew members were also fired, the one who was racist and the other one who was defending his apology. Then in 2023, he made some shitty apology. I didn't watch the whole thing because it's like 20 minutes long and this video isn't focused on this side of Inanimate Insanity, so I'll leave it at that. Paintbrush says they got an emergency signal from Test Tube and that she said they would be the one to handle it. Lightbulb says that she called because she thought they might need some help with Taco, but now that she's dead, Lightbulb asks them how hotel life is treating them. Paintbrush says that she missed a lot, which alludes that Season 3 actually happened between Inanimate Insanity 14 and Inanimate Insanity 15. But if that's the case, how did this happen? It's possible they described this in the 3rd season, but how? Anyways, Lightbulb says that she can win this for them so they won't be disappointed in her, and Paintbrush says that they are proud of Lightbulb no matter what, and they're just glad that she's okay. Baseball is the one to complete the challenge next, and Paintbrush leaves Lightbulb to win the challenge. When Lightbulb tells him to wait, she tells a lie, saying there's nothing more she wants than to win the game, and explains that now that they're back, she doesn't want Paintbrush to leave again. Aw, that's cute, man. This is fucking cute. I love them. Lightbulb is seen to have stepped off of the platform, and Knife wins. Mifune says that Lightbulb is eliminated, but she truly does not give a fuck. Mifune gives Lightbulb a dunce hat, and Suitcase says that she's happy for her. Suitcase asks Lightbulb what she was going to tell her earlier about allies, and Lightbulb says that they're the ones that gave you the strength. I didn't include that part earlier, but yeah, Suitcase calls, what happened? I think they were talking about, like, friends, and if she's sad that her allies are gone, and, Lightbulb was like, oh, I wouldn't call them allies, that's a weird word to use. That's what they're talking about right now. Anyways, Meatpad asks Mifune if he's forgetting anything, referring to Taco dead on the floor. Meatpad tells him to revive Taco, but Meatpad doesn't want to, since she wanted to end the show, and tries to negotiate bringing her back under safety conditions. Meatpad puts his foot down and says no. He says that it's one thing for Mifune to not trust him, but at the end of the day, he's holding her life in his hands. The rest of the contestants ask if he's going to bring her back, and Mifune complies. She comes back and is crying, and Meatpad says that he hoped Taco would convince them to do what he's about to do. And then he quits! Oh my god, everyone's fucking dropping like flies! He teleports away, and Mifune just doesn't acknowledge what happened and continues to act like things are normal. Mifune says that Taco was right and that he hasn't been honest enough. Suitcase says that they know he's been scared about seeing Cobbs again, and that the vacation was a way to put the contest off, and that if he's ready to talk, they can face it together. Mifune epically trolled them and says that he was just hiding a twist. Oh, Mifune, you goober. They get mad and a fire-ass transition happens back to the elimination grounds. Mifune says that Baseball and Knife have to duke out who's getting Suitcase's approval, since she's picking the one who gets to come with her to the final 2. Suke says that she hates Mifune and asks why he's doing this to her. And he says that he's a real scamp who lives for the drama. Okay, man. Mifune tells her to pick her favorite friend, and Baseball says that this time he knows it isn't her, and it's just Mifune and his surprise rules. Suke stands up and says that she won't hide like Mifune, and says that this is her decision, like how voting Nickel was her decision. She asks the two one question each, and Mifune puts a platform under them to see if they're telling the truth. She questions Knife first, asking when he said she should make her presence known, did he really want to help her, or did he think it would just get him further into the competition? Knife says that he wouldn't have said it if he didn't think it could advance. Knife says he wouldn't have said it if he didn't think he could advance from it, but in that moment he didn't like what he was seeing and wanted to help her. She asks Baseball next if he understands why she voted for Nickel and why she left the alliance. Baseball responds by saying that it was because she wasn't getting the respect she deserved and that he's sorry for letting that happen. That's not what a leader should do, and he gets it now. After getting both answers, Suitcase chooses Knife to take to the finals with her. She explains that what he said to her on the docks gave her the strength, and she realizes now that's what an alliance means to her, and that she'll always be grateful for it. She tries to talk to Baseball, but he interrupts her, saying that she doesn't need to explain why she didn't choose him. He doesn't want to make her more anxious than he already is, and with that, he leaves. I can't decide if what he said was backhanded or not. Please help me. I legitimately cannot read what he said. When Baseball goes through the portal, he's greeted with Lightbulb and her crew of gaffs, and tries to comfort him by saying that both team captains went down with their ships, and Baseball says that they're different. She left because she missed her crew. Lightbulb says that today an old friend showed them that she was drowning, and if he wants to be a good team captain, he should make sure that he's looking for that. Taco's in a bush with Meepad and says that he could have left whenever he wanted, to which Meepad replies no, because she still needs his help. She sees Mike and Pickle talking to each other, and she takes off her bow tie. Suitcase and Knife are left at the elimination grounds, and Knife tells Suitcase not to beat herself up over her choice. She says that she hopes Knife doesn't go easy on her, and he says that he's known that she's been strong for a while now, and that today didn't make him see her any different. Suitcase says that she wishes she could say the same for him, but asks why he didn't tell anyone about Taco. She says that she doesn't know if he wanted to help the others, or if he was just messing with them for his amusement. Knife then asks if she really thinks that, why she chose him. Suitcase says that it was a random act of kindness. Mifune ruins this cute moment by saying Suitcase stabbed another friend in the back, and says that Knife got carried to the end of the game. Mifune says that he'll see us for the last time for the final episode of Inanimate Insanity. And that was season 2 of Inanimate Insanity. I truly think that this show has to be one of my favorite object shows. All of season 2, in my opinion, was great. And I love it when like shows start off goofy and then they start to get like more serious and depressing near the end. Doing this video, I think, has gotten me back into Inanimate Insanity, and I am so excited for this Saturday's episode. The writing, the character development, the animation, the music, just everything about season 2 is great, and you can tell that, like in season 1, Adam really loves what he does, and this is so obviously a passion project. He loves story writing, and especially with the songs, they fucking slap. They are so amazing. I'm so happy that Adam got so many talented composers on this project. I know that Brian did a poll on Twitter regarding who should die or something for the next fucking episode. Anyways, I remember when I voted, it was tied up with Taco and Lightbulb. I mean, they were the only two options in the poll, but, you know, come on. Looking back on episode 1 and then seeing the latest episode is crazy to me. The whole team has improved so much. I'm so happy that Inanimate Insanity Season 2 came back this year. And if the movie sucks, I'm ending my life.